like a gang. Hey, so like a down, like a nigga on my chain. Me and you ain't the same on the game. Hey, Donald Trump is your president, and if you like it or not, keep the energy you had with Barack. Cause you know this Trump train don't.
All right, pause the track. All right. We gotta, I guess that means we're ready to start, man. We got the 1, we got the 2, we got the 3.
Hey.
We got the, all right, man. So welcome back to the Truthercast here, folks. Home of the Truthercast. And, may we please take your truth order today? We gotta... Try it again. I think I was muted. We got the 1, 2, 3. Welcome back to the Truthercast, home of the Truthercast. We are here to take your truth order. Hopefully, we got the live chatters going off today here, letting us know how the microphones are sounding, how the videos are looking, because, we're just run gunning things as usual, folks, because we're, here just trying not to be 2 or today 3 more, guys, just, trying not to be complainers on the old internet. We are trying to bring you the factoids, off the path that the mainstream news media was not telling you about, or maybe was completely lying about to you. And we got a whole lot of them this week, folks. One of my favorites I haven't seen in the news is Dan Bongino let everybody know that they took down a whole child trafficking ring recently, or a couple of them, right? And it was 400 plus kids they got, bro. I was like, God bless, man. That's amazing. Right. That's let alone the ones that get picked up during the streets during the day that are actually Americans, not ones that were illegal children over the border.
Have they checked the McDonald's play places yet?
I know, right, bro? So if you are new to the show here, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. We got a long form styled podcast going on here, folks. So, maybe, if you're like ADD or something, you could hold up and then fast forward, through, or, watch the replay or something. But otherwise, sit on back, throw us on while you're doing something, put it up on the TV, on the Chromecast or something. But we're going to go through the locals community here, folks, and, break down all of these ideas and whatnot. But we've got a shtick here, and that is to build a better news feed. And how you do that is by teaching the algorithm what you want to see in the feed. So you, or maybe a friend or a family member that you're trying to help out can build a better news feed by following along. Because we like pointing out all the people that we find our news bits from here, and then, showcasing them as well, so that you can click follow, on YouTube or Rumble or X, wherever you prefer to hang out. But you find these people, you follow them, you like the posts, and then you'll get a better news feed, and you can learn a whole lot more information that's more accurate than if you just have a blind, blank, news feed where the big tech kind of system's kind of feeding you what they want you to see. Because like the Dan Bongino thing, there's a lot of stuff we're going to go over today that I ain't heard anybody talk about in the news, in the mainstream news. Now, I don't watch a lot of it, so maybe I missed it, and you can tell me if it's inaccurate, but we're going to be getting on into it there, folks. And, if you want to help out, we want to make sure we don't forget it like last week. I threw the whole routine off, but there's a free way to help us out, folks, and Dan will tell it to you.
Sometimes a change-up's good every once in a while. Keeps you on your toes, just like hoes on their toes. And don't be a hoe by sharing the show. On your toes.
Oh, Dieter's mic.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
Wilkins saying in the chat. That's what's up. I've been saying that. I'm trying to speak my piece. You guys keep quiet over here.
Been talking that shit.
Well, at least you're not black, so you can't blame us on being racist. We're just keeping you down as a white man. You know what? That is the new racist. Not racist over here. Not racist.
Why?
I keep any man down, any color, don't matter. Like,
I am equally racist.
You got to get closer in the mic.
The pool. I tried to kick him in the pool.
Oh, there it is.
And then he swung at me, and then she yelled at her stepdaughter that, "Oh, don't be hitting people." And apparently, Dad tried to kick him, so swing at him.
Like too fun, like a little bit kicked out. Yeah.
Push him,
Yeah,
you know?
dude,
And she tried
that's how
telling me
dads
that,
and
I
sons
said,
play around, dude.
No, she tried telling me, don't get kicking a kid into the pool when you're around my family. I said, it's my son. I'll do what I want.
I thought that was the only way you got into the pool. At least that's how it was
when
for
I was a
me.
kid,
I got pushed into the
it was
pool
nothing but
almost
getting
every
thrown
time.
in and figuring out how to swim, even when I couldn't swim.
Yeah.
And no one even gave me floaties, all right?
Yeah, right.
Trust me.
Yeah, there was several times I got pushed in. I came up and I'm like half swallowed water, half coughing it up. They're like, "Are you okay?" Like, just trying to swim, struggling out there. You kind of pushed me in, so it's to be expected. But thanks.
I grew up with a bunch of brothers and 3 younger brothers and a couple older friends. They were all boys and a bunch of military. My dad has military buddies over all the time with their kids, and we go swimming all the time. And I'll tell you what, we had dunk contests, and wrestling in the pool, and
now's the season, man. It's
taking
getting
some
hot
water under, and almost thinking I was drowning, but guess what? I was still in the pool.
Yeah,
That didn't scare me.
That whatever the Loves Park pool is over there, it's been there for ages. That's where I had my swimming lessons. That decades ago.
Oh, nice.
They were packed over the weekend. Absolutely packed.
I drove by. Yeah, there was a line out there.
Yeah.
150 people.
Yeah.
Deep.
Oh, at least, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe we should go in the opposite chronological order because it's just too big of news. If you haven't heard it yet,
Which one?
You want to
sign that peace deal, bro?
Which peace deal
well, usually
for
I start
the people?
Usually I start from last week, right? Like,
and start from the
we'll
back.
start from today, man.
Today.
Like,
this is the hottest topic, so we do need to talk about this.
100%, man.
And most people probably who are listening, they still don't even know about this because it's only in the last 2-3 hours that Trump signed a peace deal with Israel and Iran said, yes, we forfeit and we will do whatever it takes.
Yeah, we're not advising you guys to eat your dessert before the main course, but that's what we're going to do right now.
Yeah. J.D. Vance was on live TV and he said, I just heard 2 minutes ago that Trump just got this signed. And
I can read you what Daddy Trump said right here.
It is official. It is official.
He says, congratulations to everyone. It's been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire in approximately 6 hours from now when Israel and Iran have wound down and completed their in-progress final missions. For 12 hours, damn, that's interesting. So that's why there's a time frame on it. Hey, we're gonna have peace, but Israel's gonna finish a few missions.
Some fucking
you're gonna get fucked around.
Does that mean they're autistic and they have to finish before they get to the next thing?
Well, I think
I'm a true gentleman, and I'm gonna let you get yours in real quick.
I think what it might mean is, hey, we sent some military guys out there that are real hardcore, and there's not really a communication because we gave them like go do it orders. So they're just going to finish that mission. So for 12 hours, at which point the war will be considered ended, which he just admitted it was a war. Interesting.
You know what?
Officially, Iran will start the ceasefire, and upon the 12th hour, Israel will start ceasefire, and upon the 24th hour, the first one was Iran, my mistake. Upon the 24th hour, an official end to the 12-day war will be saluted by the world. During each ceasefire, the other side will remain peaceful and respectful on the assumption that everything works as it should, which it will. On the assumption that everything works as it should, which it will. I would like to congratulate both countries, Israel and Iran, on having the stamina, the courage, and the intelligence to end what should be called the 12-day war. People tell me they like it, the 12-day war. It's very catchy. This is the war that could have gone on for years. Now that he ended it, he's all like, yeah, bro, it's totally a war. Biggest war I've ever ended.
What it is, there's got to be some explanation here. It's a 12-day war between Israel and Iran. It was a 0-day war between us and Iran. Okay?
Sure.
And that's what it is. Even though
that's
it's
what he's
been
saying.
A 2.5-year, 15-year war between Israel and Iran, okay? Because Hamas, all the other people are all controlled by Iran. And what I want or expect Trump to do to get the ceasefire is, you want the ceasefire? I want all my people home now. I want this and this and this. And if you do not do what I say, then all hell will be gone, and we're gonna keep going.
I mean,
if you want the
he
end,
pretty much
I
said
want
that.
this, and this. And if I don't get it,
I mean, Trump pretty much said
everything
that
will
with a speech talking about
I'm
how
just saying.
like
He's saying
yeah
that-
they had so many days to come to the table
well,
and they
that
did
was the
not.
first thing about
So,
the peace deal and this and that.
you know,
Yeah, that's interesting. That,
And that- about the nuclear program. That was all about the nuclear program.
I think
Right.
And if you listen to anything that JD Vance or Trump or all these other guys have been saying is it's not a war against Iran. It's not against the people. It's about the nuclear facilities. And we have gave you 60 days to come to the table about getting rid of your nuclear facilities, and you decide to tell me, screw off, fuck you, we ain't doing any deals. Well, I'm not everybody else. I gave you your time, and now I'm blowing them all up. And now Israel's killed all your people, and now you got no air defense, you got no airplanes, because I think they took more than 60-70% of their planes are out. Everything. They got no air defense. They got nothing. You got nothing. You're backed in the corner. You got no proxies anymore. You got no Hamas. You're backed in the corner. And do you want to live or die? Because we've already killed everybody else. If you want to live,
100%.
you're backed in the corner. You have no friends. You've called Russia. Legitimately sent your person that communicates between countries, ambassador over to Russia. Hey, Russia, will you help me out? Russia says,
yeah, and then if you didn't,
I'm good. I don't know what to do.
One
but
sec. And
we're
then
not
if you
gonna help
didn't-
you out.
if you
Sorry.
didn't hear what Putin said, did you hear what he actually said when they asked why he's not aiding Iran?
I haven't heard anything from Putin since the bet to Donald Trump that he couldn't get all the liberals to call him king.
I didn't hear that one.
That was a meme.
Yeah,
It was a
that's
meme
just
one,
the
it was
meme,
funny.
folks.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was when the No Kings thing happened. So the meme was
you can't get him to call you king.
so
Put
Putin
5 on it.
So
Yeah,
Putin-
put 5 on it.
So Putin was asked if why aren't you helping out Iran? And he says, because it was with a little bit a sprinkle of snark. He was like, well, Israel's almost a Russian speaking country because at this point there's 2 million Russians over there. So, next question. So AKA we're a lot of our people live there or taking over low key. And so oh yeah, we're because they are aligned with Iran, right? They're aligned with China,
Russia is.
Iran, yada yada.
Russia is, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Not Israel at all.
Right.
So he just made some.
But then they were
said,
we got a lot of people over there, so we're just not gonna do anything to
first thing
help
was,
Iran.
I'm in my own battle, in my own war, and I got my own problems. It's not my problem to come help you out. Sorry, I'm too backed up. And plus, Russia gets most of their missiles and drones from Iran.
Right.
Now, what do we do? Well, both of those words. Now, thinking about that, Russia won't have any drones anymore because all their drone facilities and weapon facilities just did get blown up by Israel. So 2 months, I think that Russia and Ukraine deal will be coming in very quickly.
Interesting. So we could see
No,
some kind of a wave or
guarantee
some
it.
kind of a
Wave of peace around the entire world.
Whoa.
And China will not want to go
Right.
messing around either now. They said Trump used a bomb that's never been used in the world before. It's the biggest bomb that's besides a nuclear weapon. We've only tested it, and now it's the first time, and we don't want to
I
play
don't know
with
if
that.
it was bigger than the Moab that he dropped on ISIS, though, in his last term.
It's more dangerous. It's a bunker buster. One goes and drills in about 200
It goes
feet.
deeper in the ground, but by explosive
Yeah.
power, I don't think it's
no. That's why it's called the Moab because that's the
the
The next
mother
biggest
of
one.
all bombs is what
Right.
Moab's
But this-
short for.
I seen this one. This one makes a mushroom cloud, and it looks pretty rough.
Oh,
too.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
both of them are pretty dangerous. yeah.
Well, allegedly, all that footage of I know which one you're talking about is allegedly not
that one.
from that actual attack, but I don't know. I would say it seems quite like it. Well, nobody could say what else it was too. It's definitely some real footage, but what is it to? That would have to be the question. Other than that, but back to Trump's post, I want to make one little thing. I think he missed one little thing. He could really put the cherry on top. The 12 days war. And you said, we weren't really at war with Iran.
It wasn't us that
We
war. It
had,
was 12 days
along
that
with the
Israel was
12-day
there.
war, Iran had their 12-hour war with us.
Right.
They poked the bear. We came back within 12 hours, and
I
we
wasn't
blew
even in
them
that
the
one.
heck up.
Yeah.
And that was the end of that.
No, yeah, they sent the missiles, we sent the planes. Our planes do more damage than your little missiles.
And
Well,
a
we don't
good
gotta
thing
go-
they didn't touch our boats.
Yeah, don't touch it.
Yeah, did you hear that? I guess like China had like some kind of a boat that was trying to maybe intercept the
Yeah,
bombers and
yeah.
stuff like that. So like, like our side's kind of going woo woo. We were so good. Oh f you. You
Well,
know,
did
China
you
and
did you
Iran, 'cause
hear
went
what
right
we
past
did?
those,
Oh, yeah.
succeeded on the mission.
Did you hear what we did? We like
Send one
we,
over to Hawaii.
we
Yeah.
juked them out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
juked
we
them out.
sent them over to Guam, and then we snuck on in and
And that's
Drop
a
the
good, perfect
fury.
game plan, you know,
Right.
trick them. Say, oh, we send these ones over the first so people will know and see that. And then, oh, we'll send these other ones over here
Wait,
real quick. And
did-
before you know what's going on.
Did you see Trump talking about how he's like, we are no longer going to announce when we're going to do our military plans? Like, wait, we were doing that before? Oh, yeah, we kind of were. That is
What?
absolutely
When he was doing the
just
flag
dumb
thing
when it
over the
comes to
weekend,
strategy.
Yeah.
He said he did the same thing. He said, what are you, am I dumb? Let me give you the point of time, the date, and what plans we're doing so you can be out there. Don't worry, I'll tell you. No, I'm not telling you shit.
Right.
Don't ask dumb
And
questions.
then another one I thought about though is like the rules are to like, oh, do official war, right? We have to go through Congress and get it approved
There's
and
no
da da da
official
da.
war, though.
And it's like, hey, like that brings up a really good question. It's like, well, everything that we do because free speech and FOIA requests and blah 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 blah, you know, like doesn't that have some kind of a national security implication or something? Like, you know, like if we were to go and declare like actual war through Congress, it's like, well, that will be out on the interwebs real quick. So like,
No, yeah.
I think if we are to
I
go and
mean-
do that officially, it should be some kind of a private governmental thingy.
Uh,
He can have
yeah,
warrior up
private.
to 2,000 soldiers he can control and put soldiers anywhere he wants for up to 90 days,
I just
which
think
is 60 days of in the ground and 30 days of pull out of anywhere he's at.
I like to
And
think
that's
of
what it is.
I like to think about
And-
it.
If I go tell you and tell too many people about my business and what I'm doing, two of these people might go tell somebody else they shouldn't, and then it's leaked. And then you're putting me and all the soldiers and everybody else in jeopardy, and that's not real good.
Which they were
There you go.
saying it is interesting that this attack didn't get
Was-
leaked by somebody.
You want to know why? Because it was in a circle of probably only 5 people.
like
And that-
stupid type, bro.
And that's why they said in his speech over the weekend, which was only like 3 minutes long,
Mhm.
which he had
They
JD
kept it
Vance,
tight.
and
Marco Rubio.
Rubio.
and the secretary
Hegseth. Pete Hegseth.
Hegseth. And that was there.
And
And he
you-
had all the boys behind him,
Nah.
all of them backing him up, and we're on the same page.
Not
And
Tulsi
there's-
Gabbard was the big, like,
Oh, she don't really have to be here.
so she was against it.
Well, she can be against it.
Oh
but
yeah,
guess what?
she was.
And then-
What was it?
Everything turned
What
out very
was it?
well.
Trump was questioned about. They're like, Tulsi said
Yes.
that this wasn't this way. He's like,
Yes.
she was wrong.
Right. Yeah. He
Right.
actually had to be like, nah, she was wrong.
But now, anybody all the naysayers who were this morning and the last day
know.
or two who want to be negative about it, well, times have turned and
Well,
I
it's
know.
going now.
One thing
done.
I'd like to
Right.
say on we got to go to Congress and talk about the war.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of how
That's
it
a
was
major
in
war.
the 1600s and 1700s because you'd line up like you knew you were at war with another person or another country because you had your entire line of army against the other line of their army, so they knew it. But guess what?
Right.
Think about this. We totally knew Japan was coming to Pearl Harbor, right?
Were they? Because like we did
Yeah,
a little bit of
little
fakey
bit.
there ourselves too.
Yeah.
Like
But yes, allegedly, right? That was what we do. But then also
they didn't. They just came out of nowhere and started bombing our crap. War is supposed to be. It's usually like that.
But then also
That's what actually starting a
we
war
got-
is. You
we
just
got
go
wars
over and you
all
start
over the world right
poking
now.
over the other side of the fence.
But then also back then, if we did do official something Congress, news didn't travel that fast, man.
Yeah.
So like we'd be able to like do it
What I'm saying is,
officially.
we totally knew Japan was
Yeah,
coming to
sure.
bomb our ship, right?
Sure.
That's why we were totally unprepared. A bunch of people died. Like
Sure.
Those are
they
major
didn't
wars.
they didn't announce. We had no idea they were coming to do that.
But we don't know they're
so.
major wars until they pop off.
Pop
so it's
off.
easy to say that
Yeah.
hindsight.
But
Because that's where
we got soldiers all across the world right now fighting different battles in Syria and Mali. I mean, I know friends that are overseas.
against the Kurds in Turkey.
I mean, there's all kinds of wars that
right.
next to zero people know we're even fighting. Okay, and keeping peace and this and that.
Yeah,
Right.
just
But
ask
it's not-
Kamala because we don't have troops anywhere on the.
She's
that
a
was
brain
good.
dead moron.
Well, for a good example though, is that like people talk about how like if things turn into World War III within the next like few years,
it's not happening
when you
anymore.
look back into history, you would say, oh, that started when the Ukraine thing popped
Yeah.
off, but in the moment, you
yeah.
don't feel or know that, right?
No,
'Cause
but
it's
you can
like,
see how it could.
like a larger amount of
snowball
history gets
and go
balled
into
up
it.
when you look at it back. But so some of these things I posted from last week are going to be slightly irrelevant because today was going to be a lot of explaining how there's a lot of interesting talking, online personality characters and stuff that in my humble opinion were a little bit like fickle to drop support of Trump on this kind of a move because yeah, sure, we don't want to like just bomb people and we didn't vote for starting another proxy war or we didn't want to start another like
Regime change.
regime change. Thank you. That was the word I was trying to think of. And it's like, well, another interesting fact about all these people flip-flopping that I thought of, because everybody on our side that was still trying to support Trump was going and posting this around a lot. And it says, Bill Clinton, we are determined to prevent Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons. George Bush, Iran must not be allowed to develop nuclear weapons. Barack Obama, I have stated that Iran will never be allowed to obtain a nuclear weapon. Joe Biden, we will not allow Iran to acquire a nuclear weapon. And then Trump, right? And then me and you before the show were talking,
But
and it was like, what?
This is the bad thing
Bill
about
Clinton
this.
gave them uranium, like Hillary Clinton. That was like the uranium debacle.
Obama gave him a
took our-
pallet of cash.
He took our uranium, gave it to Russia and Iran, and then George Bush gave him money, Barack gave him
Bring
money, Biden gave him money.
and all they do is
And we're like,
They-
why are they all like
but they
rich
gi-
and have
they
the
give
money
them
to do
money
this?
to sign
Yeah.
a nuclear deal that says that they're not going to enrich it.
You
good enough,
know,
but, hey, if I give you a big boatload of cash and bribe you not to do it, but you got the money to do it,
well,
you're probably gonna still do it.
I would
And I don't trust any terrorists. And the number
I
one
would-
thing that America is supposed to do is not negotiate with terrorists. And since you're Iran, you're the
That's not
number
true, though.
one. Yes,
they say that up front, but they
don't do it.
negotiate all the
But-
time, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And,
But my point is
they-
you should do that. But the point is that they would maybe still go do uranium stuff because you don't have a big stick.
yeah,
Because you don't have
because they got
I'm going to give you
Oklahoma.
this money and
You
we're going to
actually
make an
stick it through.
agreement. But why would they follow through with the agreement if we're going to be limp wristed?
Yeah.
Right. So you make a deal, but you still have and if you don't follow the deal, I might punch you in the face.
If you skew,
And then it makes somebody
across-
want to really stick to that deal.
If you
right?
if you skew outside of the lines that we drew for you, yeah, we got to then put you back in your
Like,
place.
you know what I'm saying?
And that's what happened after the 61 day.
So my point here is that everybody was posting around that like, oh, Clinton, Obama, Bush, and blah. So they said that they did this, and then you can find all the like Nancy Pelosi politicians that were,
Said the same
gushing
thing.
over it when they said this, right? They were like, yeah, no nukes for Iran, and give them money, and maybe we should bomb them. But now they're all like against Trump, right? So that kind of makes me just like think back to 2016 when I did not get into politics. It was only conspiracy theory, bro. And all of a sudden, Donald Trump's running, and I'm like, what? What? The Donald Trump guy's running? The only reason I was like, oh, I guess I'm supporting this guy is because all of the mainstream negative press that popped up. So I went default. Oh, I know mainstream media is total bullshit, corrupt, that's
Go against them.
lying to us, and blah 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 blah. So if they don't like the guy,
Then I gotta like him.
I must like him. Like he must be for us. If
Yeah.
So I think the better argument here is if all the deep state, blah, blah, Nancy Pelosi politicians were agreeing with these past presidents that we should, no Iran, and bomb them. They probably knew that they weren't really going to do it. So then there could still be instability in Middle East. But now that Trump's going to do it, he's actually going to stop it because all those same deep
He
state
just did
politicians
stop.
are
He
saying,
just did.
we don't agree with Trump this time.
No.
So as soon as they said that, I was like, dude, I'm on board with Daddy Trump on this one. I don't like the bombs. I don't like the
Yeah.
maybe send our guys.
No,
I
we
don't
have
like to
send
spend
anybody.
money.
They're dead.
What? Donald Trump did this, and this. Like we just said, save his people that he put in position. Saves over 400 kids. Kash Patel allegedly took out the top 10 most wanted in the first like 2-4 weeks or some shit we
Yeah.
covered a couple weeks ago. And then he stops the border where last month was the first time, or earlier this month was the first time we had absolutely zero elite criminal alien crossings, right? And then the stat just comes in this week that now a million criminal aliens self-deported themselves.
No, yeah.
And then
What a
we're
wonderful
stopping
thing that is.
cartels and all of this shit, bro. So you're going to tell me
Million.
all of that shit that's good just happened, but all of a sudden this guy's an idiot with his choice of bombing these dudes? Like,
His foreign
Well, that's
policy
what I
is
was
the
like.
best foreign policy
he's
we've
gonna
ever had in
start a
America almost
war.
ever.
right?
You know, he did peace deals with the Abraham Accords, and this
Right.
is another part of the Abraham Accords. He's leaving,
Right.
starting off exactly where he left off with everybody else, Turkeys, Sudan, and all these people starting to get along and getting rid of these bad regimes and getting along together. And that's what he needs to do.
Right.
You know? And it's leaving the
100%.
same thing. And now you got the biggest supporter of terrorism cut down. All their Hamas and all the other people in Yemen
ISIS.
or ISIS are all next to nothing. And now Iran just got blown all up and all this nuclear facilities. So now you got nothing.
Right.
Now you got nothing. No friends. You got no
Well,
friends, and everybody's against you. You
they're-
call your friends. No one's coming to help you.
Their bunkers
You're done.
are down, and one of their oil refineries are down, and so like
no
that,
money
that's
too.
where they make a lot of money. So that's a hit right in the pocketbook. But their people, there wasn't a whole lot of human casualties, and I know a guy that's actually grew up in Iraq, only came to the States some years ago, and he told me that Iran is pretty much 99%. I forget if it's the Sunni or the Shiites, but they're the radical Muslims that absolutely hate Christians, which is just Americans in general. And
Large majority of the world. We looked that one up, right? Like
yeah,
largest
and it's
religion is
ISIS.
Christianity.
He says Iran is just all radical Muslims
Like,
or
essentially
Islam
in general.
and the ISIS.
Yeah.
That's all there is over there. So there's still plenty of those people. And
Right.
have you heard? She was an ex-CIA chick. She was on the Sean Ryan podcast talking about how she had intel that there's at least 1,000 trained people from that region
In America.
that that are in America right now, and they're just
The sleeper cells you're talking about?
Yeah.
not even
Yeah.
like sleeper cells.
That's what
is
they're
like
That's what they
that,
call them.
that magic thing that turns them on. No, like these are guys that are just waiting
They
for
wait
that
the
text,
call. The pager.
and then they are trained to fight till the death. And so they're speculating there's going to be some coordinated attack in multiple big cities, all where they just like go off.
Which is what we all said
But
the
we'll
whole
let 'em
4
in
years.
here.
Like, we do agree.
Yeah.
Biden-
It
yeah,
sounds-
we know they're here.
I
Biden
mean,
let them all in.
I mean, thing.
That's common sense. It's okay.
I mean,
You
that whole they got to show us before they do it. The new Top Gun was
Yeah,
basically
we can pull that up.
was
Not
fruition.
basically.
Yeah,
Literally.
yeah.
It
So
was 100%.
so everybody's waiting for what's the
the like other part of it or something.
the red, not the red flag. It's the movie that portrays them coming onto American soil and then trying to fight us.
Good luck with that one.
No way.
Yeah. Oh,
Did you see
they
this?
made a
Did you see
remake.
this?
No.
Bro, so
They
you
made
watched
a
the-
remake of it. That's how popular it is.
I'm not sure. That was not ringing a bell.
I don't watch. I listen.
Did you watch the new Top Gun? It was really good.
No, everybody says it's good.
Oh, you missed it?
I'm not a big Tom Cruise fan.
I know, me neither, but it was good. It was a good, cool movie.
That
Like,
was
it was a
really
good,
cool.
cool movie. Yeah. And they made it like not woke, right? But are you ready for this, dude? Watch this. I got it on my profile. Where's my effing profile? This is hilarious. And then talk about what do we say in the tinfoil world a lot, right? Like the hide in plain sight or blah blah blah, right? It was what's his name? Maybe I could. Okay, it's right here. It's right here. It's right here. Yeah, right here.
Red Dawn,
Oh yeah, I need to rewatch that one. I ain't seen that.
the new one and the old one.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready
But
for this?
I'm just waiting for like, okay, when's that gonna be then the
It's a
truth?
long one, though.
Okay, watch this
21
one.
minutes.
What is happening right now is unbelievably identical to the plot of Top Gun Maverick the Oscar-nominated Best Picture of the Year in 2022. This has been an obsession of mine all week. I've been meaning to make this video all week, and I just saw Fox News reference it last night. So let me give you the proper treatment. We're going to go through this scene by scene. We're going to do a movie watch chronologically through the movie. And as you watch these scenes, remember that the whole plot is to use bunker buster bombs using stealth bombers through the mountainous region of a Middle East country in order to blow up its nuclear plant. Here's what the final scene looks like at the climax of the film, for example. Now, something troubled me when this movie first came out, and I'm just going to play this scene. It's at the 19-minute mark of the movie where they're setting out the whole plot of why they're doing this operation.
The target is an unsanctioned uranium enrichment plant built in violation of a multilateral NATO treaty. The uranium produced there represents a direct threat to our allies in the region.
Now, when I first watched this on an airplane in 2022 as just something to do to kill time, I thought that was a very strange plot choice because this whole operation to use bunker buster bombs and risk American lives to blow up a nuclear plant in the Middle East was because the nuclear plant represented a direct threat to our allies. Like, the military generals did not even say it was a threat to the United States.
That's just super wild that it was that specific.
Oddly coincidental.
That specific. It wasn't even like the movie was about protecting us. It literally was protecting the ally too.
Well, it's it's a chain reaction though of blowing up one and they say death to America too at the same time. So one and one can be still the same. You know, they go hand in hand. It's our ally Israel that it makes peace in that area. And as soon as they would take over and nuke Israel, it would be death to America with terrorism all over. So it's one and one and the same. Or, so what you would really have to worry about would be them enriching the uranium in a splinter cell. Single guy could take the uranium and have a nuclear weapon handheld and walk it into any country too. Be another problem you have to worry about.
I know, right?
No, I'm just saying. So there's, and who don't want peace in the world? As soon as a crazy person has those, this is death to Israel, death to America, and they have the bombs, they're going to use them. They use them everything else. They're using trash cans because full of gasoline because that's all they have. Okay? The second they have drones and everything else, they use them as soon as fast as they can make them. But they don't have anything else or any nukes, so they can't use them. Give them a bunker buster. I guarantee they use it in 2 days. You know, give them a Moab. They use that in a day or two. Right. If they have it, they'll use it. They don't have it. But as soon as they do have it and they do make it, they're going to use it because that's how they think.
Right.
So
now,
if they're getting close, take the toys away. No toys for that kid.
Now, what's tricky, and this is interesting now that we have this alleged peace deal thing going on right now, right? I really wanted to believe that Trump was a super smart dude. All of his generals and his, advisor guys are super smart. And this strategic attack was 100% not going to lead to war. But did you guys see this video going around? Yeah, my girl sent me this one over.
This defect has steak and lobster. How's your steak and lobster?
All right, damn, you're decent.
How's yours?
I'm ready.
So if you're unaware, they usually don't feed troops steak and lobster.
Well, if you know,
what this is known as is the deployment meal.
If you notice,
I know they eat a lot of steak and lobster on submarines and shit like that.
No, the key is Air Force. Their chow halls is always steak and lobster.
Oh, really?
So the U.S. Army must be sneaking into the Air Force base right now and just
think
stealing
so?
Get some good chow.
So what everybody was posting around here was,
the Army's going
hey,
in
what
they was going to go to the war because they're deploying them in or something. So it's like,
or maybe we missed the part in the big beautiful bill where Trump was like, I believe that the Air Force is being treated way too unfairly compared to the rest of them. We need to be good to the rest of our troops. It's not fair that they get steak and lobster while the Army gets burgers that look like crap.
Everyone should be fine with this because equality. I'm just trying to make things more equal.
Yeah, everybody want equality, right?
With MREs, okay? I know what an MRE tastes like. I don't know if anyone else doesn't, but not the best.
Shoot, they got
I guess it'll do.
Hey, they got a burger MRE that's got all the salt and pepper, and it's actually I like that thing.
Yeah.
But that's because I like heavy seasoning. It was just very heavily seasoned, which is probably to cover up the low quality of the beef being freeze dried.
Most likely.
They use a lot of salt for
pretty decent.
Preservatives is what it is,
Oh, yeah.
and salt in your body to hold and maintain water, so you don't have to take in as much water.
Wait, are you telling me that sodium is needed in the body? Wait, how come all the health is telling you to not have sodium in you, and it's going to higher your blood pressure and everything? Joe Rogan went a deep dive into that. The sodium thing for high blood pressure is total myth.
Yep.
Salt's for retaining water in your body.
So,
give you salt
and all your neurons to fire correctly and communicate, because salt is a crystal which communicates electricity.
You guys got to listen back to this podcast and listen to how horrible it sounds when you talk over each other. Just a reminder. You got to get better at that.
Yeah,
So-
we need better mics.
No. It's you guys talking at the same time. So,
Better mics.
so to move a little bit forward, we might have something else to bring us back to that main topic, right? But to move a little bit forward, what we're all fighting here for is not just to peace, Middle East, stop somebody from maybe nuking somebody else and crazy shit or something, right? But it's communism, folks. And have you seen who is running for the New York City mayor?
Are out of control. The cost of eggs and milk has skyrocketed. Some stores are even using dynamic pricing, jacking up the cost over the course of a day depending on what they can get away with. It doesn't need to be this way. I'm Zahran Mamdani, and as mayor, I will create a network of city-owned grocery stores. It's like a public option for produce. We will redirect city.
Did you miss that? City-owned
supplement.
What?
They've been talking about that one for a while now.
I know, but now we have
Pritzker's actually, I think, one of the first to bring that up.
Stop it! No,
fat guy's got
he's
his own
already
food.
governor.
Yeah, he was talking about having that in
dude.
Chicago.
But then also, he is an American. What we're talking about is a non-American man who is
as far as I'm concerned, I think Pritzker is definitely bought by the CCP. Look at how big he is. He probably is at the China buffet at least 6 days out of the week.
Sure. And so my point here is, though, he claims that he's American and trying to. This guy's literally saying he's a communist.
Yeah, so does AOC, so does Bernie Sanders.
No, you're misunderstanding. I'm not hyperbole saying.
He legitly says
he is legitly out in public.
There's a lot of people that say that, though.
He's pro-communism.
And
they don't say pro-communism. They say socialism.
There's a few of them that say, yes, it is communism and socialism, which is a fine line in between.
It's a fine line. And then my argument always...
It's one step away.
Yeah,
if you're ever in an argument, remember this mind bullet. In Marxist book, the famous, Communist Manifesto one, right? They all quote Marxism, and they say, oh, no, it's all about socialism. He, in the book, says that socialism is but just a shoehorn to communism.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they never know that because none of them actually read the book.
But they all follow Karl Marxism.
They've been programmed through all the blue screens that I love communism. Socialism. They're totally not the same. I want socialism, and
exactly
communism totally isn't real.
Or another rebranding of calling it Marxism, no, it's not communism. I support Marxism. So heads up.
What's the difference? Nothing.
So this dude, man, if you know anybody in New York City, make sure to send this one out to him, folks. Pull this thing up on the flipping interwebs here. His name is Zohan. No, that's the TV movie. Zohran. Zohran. Or you can find it on my X feed at Mastache, or just join us in that locals community. Link in the description box down below. Locals.mastache.com. That one down there right underneath the sponsored. Click that button. But send this one out, bro, because like this is another like inch towards like, normalizing socialism, communism or something.
And that's what all Democrat cities want to be.
Yeah, crazy, bro.
They all are going for the wrong type of ism.
Right. Autism is what we all should be. All right, so
no, it should be Trumpism, but
yeah, that one. Yeah.
Autism, Trumpism.
So I found this one very interesting too, and this one is highlighting the paid-for protesting that is essentially trying to push for the liberalism, progressivism, socialisms, Marxisms, communisms, blah blah blah, right? And so check this out. This random ass dude, right? His shtick right now, I guess, his hustle of doing content, right, is exposing the protesters. So like, check this out, dude.
Do you want to see Israel destroyed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, your pin says you're Jewish, right?
at this point, I do. I used to believe in the one democratic state solution.
What do you do for work?
I don't.
You don't work? Why not?
I don't have to.
So you did well.
I haven't worked since I was 27.
Now, I think she actually is working and as a professional protester. Here's her protesting without her sunglasses on. She usually does have them on. Here's her saying HP profits from Israel's torture of Palestinian political prisoners. Here's her saying democracy is not for sale. Back again with the Palestine flag, and again with the South African flag. Now, it's not just her, as we know that they work in teams. Look at this blonde woman beside her. I found her at more protests than any other paid protester I've exposed in the past. I found her at close to 50 different protests, all within a couple of years. So who's behind this team of people chanting for Israel's destruction on America's streets? Their name is Sammy Dune. It's an organization based in Canada, and they are sanctioned.
Guess who it's funded by?
Sanctioned by Canada as a terrorist group. In fact, in October of 2024, US and Canada issued joint statements listing Sammy Dune as a terrorist entity. Canada called them a sham charity who funnels money into the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, which is a Marxist organization that recognizes a one-state solution with no Israel. Germany banned the group after members of Sammy Dune passed out candy celebrating October 7th. The founder of Sammy Dune, at a rally in Vancouver, publicly called Hamas heroic on the 7th and said that Hamas and Hezbollah don't engage in terrorism. If you look at the photos of this woman I interviewed, they almost all come from Sammy Dune's website. Now, the Tides Foundation and the Tides Center is behind this, and you remember the chief donor of the Tides Foundation.
Hey, pause. What? Remember the guy that has a website that follows all the money?
Yep.
Remember what foundation was always popping up? The Tides Foundation.
Oh, right.
It was in like every one.
Right.
Somewhere in the strings, it was in every one of them.
Do you see this one from last week?
No,
Slight side quest here, folks. So reminder, you definitely got to check out datarepublican.com. So this dude's getting bigger on X and shit like that, right? And he just seems like some like smart nerd guy that's like, I'm going to use my superpower for good here.
Oh, kind of like everybody working at Doge.
Amen, right?
Wow.
So this
the better the people
is a whole website where he is bringing together all the money. So let's check out the Jewish Voice for Peace. Sounds like a positive organization, right?
That lady, she said she had a Jewish pin on her, right? Though?
Right.
With a Palestinian flag in her hand.
And who wanted Israel to be blown up?
That
what?
Israel could get killed.
Yeah, that's wacko. So check this out. So you click on the taxpayer trace here, and it magically generates this flow chart.
Not magically. This dude worked real hard putting all this together.
It's effing nerd magic,
that
bro.
That magic was a lot of typing of nerd fingers.
And all of these NGOs or shell companies go to this Jewish Voice for Peace.
What's that?
There it is.
What's that? Tides Foundation.
Good memory, homie.
Yeah. That are actually anti-Jewish.
And so if we back up over here, this is one of the most egregious here. The Board of Trustees of Leland has $1.5 billion of taxpayer money, dog. Like, wait a second. So this was what? Like all USAID probably funneled taxpayer money.
Send Doge in there to look at that one.
You know, and I want to hit him up and ask for a feature to be able to click on this company and then get that one's like tree, that flow chart.
Yeah.
Because the 1.5 billion, only 245,000 went into the shell company here, which is Schwab Charitable Fund.
Who chopped off of that? hedge fund over
Yeah.
there. Good grief.
And then that goes only, wait. Okay, so they only got 245 from them, but
out of $1.5 billion.
But this organization does have 3.5 billion, and they peeled off 1.1 million to give to the Jewish Voice for Peace. So now they get a gross receipt of $3.3 million. However, when you look at the records, it would show no taxpayer funds. So this is how they try to hide through the money web. And this website's fantastic, but this is all the nerd stuff where most people would just eyes kind of glaze over. So I would just, I don't know. I'm forever now. I'll be pulling this up.
Thinking about it.
I know.
You can't have a brain bust like,
golly,
how did that even happen?
Oh, my brain's about to bust.
100%, right?
And
so
give you a headache and make you mad.
He brought this up on the No Kings one. So these are all the organizations that were like funneling into No Kings too, bro.
Yeah.
So like all of these organizations were funneling money into No Kings, bro. So what is No Kings? It's just a grassroots protest thing of things we believe in, and we don't like Daddy Trump.
And you ask half the people out there why you're here. What are you even protesting? I don't know.
Right. Another way to find out.
You mean you're all getting paid to be here? Oh, I heard about that too. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, but that's real cool. Good memory on Dan with the Tides Foundation. Back over here real quick to wrap this guy up.
George Soros. However, all you see is that the Alliance for Global Justice is their fiscal sponsor. But if you lift the hood, you see that Soros gives to Tides, Tides gives to AFGJ, which then gives to Sammy Dune. Soros, along with the new venture fund, gave more than $9 million to the AFGJ, which again is the fiscal sponsor of Sammy Dune. They want it to look complicated so you don't see this, but make no mistake, Soros is funding this. It is also important to note that you can't even donate to the AFGJ with Stripe or PayPal or any normal methods, as all of those companies consider them terrorists. Yet they are still walking the streets of New York City screaming for the downfall of America.
Yeah, if they don't have something like that Data Republican, I guarantee, and then he sees it, I guarantee, hey, guys, where the hell are those guys? Why don't we have this thing? Like, the FBI's got to have some, like, cracker money thingy. But we wouldn't even think that because they're not taking them more down, like, right? Like,
I was going to say, I wonder.
We got to dig
yeah, I wonder if Nate Friedman, with the Nate Friedman show there, I wonder if he even knows about this. Like, we should let him know. Email him, comment in, like, hey, are you following the Data Republican?
Do you want to see Israel?
Yeah. He's getting pretty big on X now, so he's probably if someone's heavy on X and then
it looked like he was going off the articles. I bet if he had the Data Republicans, he'd be going nuts into the
I wonder if he might be using some of it. Yeah. Oh gosh, let's see what the community note says. This posters is falsely accusing a woman of
don't look like her
being a paid protester. The photos don't look like her. Also make false claims about pay and organization.
I'm going to take a wild guess that commenter is Stevie Wonder.
Opinion.
They're obviously blind.
Right. Opinion or speculation. Useless. Thanks. See you later. Yeah. Reminder, if you fancy yourself one of those, good guy activists, you should certainly have a account on X, and you should sign up to become a community notes voter. I highly recommend it. And then now we got one from Mr. Dieter himself here, man. You got an intro for this one at all? It's this one.
I mean,
you see this, Dan?
I think the aliens are out here protecting Israel from the bad guys. I mean,
hey,
when God wants the right people to stay alive, I mean, he's out here protecting people. You've heard about aliens helping Ukraine when they had the meltdown.
Well, think
and they had over what was it in Tokyo or in Japan, they had
the Fukushima
meltdown. They supposedly had hovering aircraft around that, hoping it from not melting down.
Dude, do you know what?
I mean, if you watch this video, it's hard to say that that's not.
Do you know where
an aircraft?
Do you know where most UFO occurrences happen?
Nuclear site.
So
isn't it?
Yeah.
There's been alleged
And they disable the.
There's been alleged times
So just let
that
disable 'em, yeah.
nukes have been tried to be sent, and alien UFOs
Right.
just
No.
Right.
Shut that shit down.
so.
Or
What if
These
Is it-
bombs
those
were gonna
were-
hit somebody that they didn't want them
what
to
if
hit?
not
They
just
said,
bombs? What if those were
Well,
nukes?
what?
What if Iran already tried sending nukes? That's
That
what
could be
happened,
a
and Trump said, "Wha-bam!"
No, because
Or-
if it did, the nuclear radiation would have been all over the town.
No,
and you'd be
you
able
well,
to find it.
that's no. They disarm
that's
them without the nuke
No,
actually
look, they blow
going
up.
off.
but you'd still be able to find the uranium in
They
the
blow up
nuke
right
bomb
there.
thingy.
Yeah, in the radiation, there's no way that's not.
Well, that
That's not
didn't
man-made.
blow up.
Well, it could be man-made because I believe that we 100% have this technology. So my personal theory is, let's
It'd be
another
unmanned.
possibility.
It'd be unmanned.
No,
drone.
no, they can be manned. Another
They
possibility.
said the G's on it would knock you out or kill
Not
you.
if you have a torsion physics based spacecraft. So let's say aliens aren't real, okay? Or aliens didn't do this at minimum, right? Because we have a whole bunch of lore of us finding alien technology and then rebuilding it. Don't
In
forget
Iraq,
the Bob
that's where we
Lazar,
find a lot of stuff.
the Bob Lazar story, bro. He literally talked about working on the torsion physics engine for the spacecraft. And so what it does is it uses element 113, I believe it
Yeah.
was, and then it creates a cardioid shape or a heart-shaped torsion field. And instead of us and our like Cro-Magnon thought of movement of pushing through everything, it cuts space-time and gets sucked through shit. And that's how it can like up, down, left, right, and go forward. And allegedly, when you're in this torsion field, you don't even feel the G's. Like it's just
You're
there's
just in your
gravity
own,
is
like,
not affected or something, you know.
Force field type thing.
But if you can't see this video good enough, folks, maybe I'll do like the full screen here.
Yeah.
I don't think we have
Send-
mics
send
on
it
the full
over.
screen,
Sorry.
but take a look at this. It's pretty wild.
Rockets fired by Iran. Check this out. Wild stuff.
That's a crazy.
I mean,
that's crazy.
there's a flash of light. It might not have been an explosion.
How you fake it is perhaps maybe the light. The light is the thingy
You
that's
see the
disabling
speed
it.
and the
Yeah.
acceleration.
It's no, something strange, dog. Or again, it's some faked video. Who knows? But it's a very crazy video.
Bombs
Either
going
way,
off all over.
that's a crazy video, dog.
Or just be fake.
I think it's wild that we're starting to see all more of these, like what we were saying for a while, where we were like, if there's that much UFO activity kind of stuff, like wouldn't we be seeing it now more in a like
they're seeing
in
a
a
lot,
cell phone
and
world or something, you know? And all of a sudden, last few years, we've been seeing it a
They
lot.
see them a lot in the war zones. I do know that.
Well,
Right.
that's the thing is because a lot more people are having their lenses, like photo lenses, up because you're not usually seeing it with these lenses.
Sure.
Especially over there, because remember the those videos going around of old flip phones with the camera, you could put it over something and it looks different.
Yeah.
So over there they have a lot of older technology, so that might also be why that is happening, because they're not having the new cameras. The new cameras, they're
not on the flip phone, homie, but I see what you kind of going for.
Hey, they might be on Nokias still.
If they had a flip phone, I don't think they'd be able to catch the zoom.
No, they got iPhones, dog.
Zooming,
They
yeah.
got iPhones.
No, yeah.
The iPhone is over there. Wait, man, I'm all off on the cameras today. We need a producer, folks. What you got here for us, Dano?
Oh, just another AI comedical relief. He's talking about the fatties again.
Oh, I effing hate Instagram. Just play the audio when I click the damn video, bro.
Yeah, I know. I hate that too.
Like, why is there a separate
I don't
thing?
know how you just haven't learned by now.
How's he blowing pipe?
And it still doesn't have the audio?
There's something on your end.
Did they break the audio?
No. I think I hear it's just really low.
We're like blow our eardrums out loud. Did it do that thing like they do on TikTok where they cut the audio?
I don't know. Yeah, because it had the audio when I posted it.
Like on TikTok, they'll cut the audio out of videos.
Lame. But he's talking about the bombs. the Lizzo bomb, the O'Donnell.
Everybody's heard those fat names for years. Some say Sir Lizzo isn't that big anymore. She's thinned out. It's like magic, right? From Ozempic.
The fat shot, right? She must have taken thousands of fat shots, the neck, the thighs, and the midriff.
Yeah, these AI videos
but
are
she'll always be a
ridiculous,
fat pig in my mind.
Little bomb. The white would have killed it all.
If Iran does not agree to peace, we'll have larger bombs. This one's great.
In the 1 week's time, if no peace is made, we will drop the fattest bomb, the Michael Moore, the Chris Christie. That'll take out the whole city. When that bomb explodes, it will send projectiles of pizza and pizza that will sear and even the thickest walls of concrete and steel. Bubbling, molten hot cupcake frosting will spray and sear and burn the faces of most dangerous terrorists in the world, rendering them blind. And the third and the most nasty and biggest, fattest bomb that will be dropped will be called Nancy Pelosi's boob bomb. It's quietly it's ridiculous.
These are big suckers.
That just gets more ridiculous and more ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I love how they cut to Vance's face. He's just like, dang, Trump, you going hard on this one. What do you do?
But then he must have actually been making those faces.
It was so much better with the audio.
Yeah. We can try to reopen it again.
Freaking lame.
Crap.
No.
I just love how you got the team
Too
and all
many
the guys
people complained.
there, right behind him. That's me out here, and I want to jack some people up, and I got my boys behind me, and all my boys are standing here, and we're standing together. That's unity in the White House. You got all you and everybody behind you to stand in the same thing, and every one of them, all three of those guys can run for vice president next. Dude, you want to be on the same page and have the same game plan, and Trump ain't pick nobody next, but
now people.
Vance is probably the one that said the least wanted to do it,
right?
But
that's what you want, though.
No.
You want the person that doesn't want to be
and
president.
Trump don't want to do it either.
There's a
The
theory.
guys who are saying more Rubio and
there's
that say it does need done, and it does need done, and it turned out okay.
And I like JD because was the businessman, successful, blah blah blah. Right, but then went to politics before president.
But he also grew up.
So he's got a good
way
blend.
more than any three of us.
Right.
Or anybody even listening to this.
Right.
Everybody who's listening is guaranteed you had more money than him growing up.
Seems right.
Well,
I watched the movie. The movie was good. Yeah.
I made my grandma watch it with me.
So now people are saying, what if it was JD Vance and Marco Rubio? And I was like,
That'd be pretty good.
That's not too horrible.
Not bad. You get the Mexican vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he Mexican or some other
Puerto
Hispanic?
Rican? No, he's Cuban.
Puerto Rican?
Cuban?
He's from
Cuban?
the island of garbage.
I guarantee I think he's Cuban. His parents came over from Castro.
Is his uncle Fidel?
No wonder this guy's Team America, bro.
No, I mean it.
Cuban, homie, yeah.
I told you.
Yeah, God bless,
His parents
dude.
came over, and that's why they kept on kicking Cubans back. And they'll let Mexicans in and Venezuelans in. The Cubans that come on the boats back to Cuba. Why?
Yeah.
Because they don't vote Democrat. They vote Republican because they know what communism is. And that's why Rubio is so good at everything he does, is because he knows and has been there, and his parents came and grandparents tell him about this shit. And they say, don't want nothing to do with that.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that only the people that have experienced communism are the only ones going, hey, yo, no, look, this is communism, what they're trying to do. And guess what? That whole how you like the different little things of communism, oh, that sounds great. Believe me, yeah, that's what everybody was told. And guess what? It sucks.
Yeah, I seen North Korean people. A lady come from North Korea said the same damn thing. And
Yeah, that was going around a lot,
people
yeah.
from China too. You Americans are so stupid. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. And you need to respect your country and you know what you're talking about, because if you want America to be the rest of the country or the world, you're brain dead. You're losing it.
Yeah, they
No one wants to be
always
like
talk
that.
about loving capitalism too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they always say that. Love capitalism.
Yep,
Love
100%, bro. I've seen a
And the
whole bunch
freedoms.
of
Real
videos. Cubans talking about like, oh, dude, you're so dumb, bitching about things and trying to be pro
No.
communism.
No, yeah, and it's the people that were born here with too much,
White
entitlement.
privilege.
Too much
It's entitlement.
No, it's not white. It's blacks. It's everything.
It's just American
Anything.
entitlement.
It's
Oh,
American
did you hear the
entitlement
sarcasm
without
in my
going
voice?
anywhere in the world,
Bro,
and
my
not knowing anything.
my
I
home-
have friends too that from other countries that are like, hey, until you go these other places, you have no idea what the world is like.
my homie literally just told me this week that he went down to visit Colombia and have a fun time. And he goes down there and he talks to this guy and goes, "Wait, you're an American? Oh shit, they just deported me last month. Can you give me some Tims?" And I was like, "Dang, bro." And he goes, "Yeah, that was the first time I ever realized like how awesome, great America is. Like it was like a real,
You want some
it was a
Timberland?
realization of taking America for granted."
Oh, yeah.
And I was dying of laughter because I was like, and then also think about this though, man. It's like slightly comedic, but think about it super serious, right? This dude went illegally all the way to America, got caught, got sent back. That probably super duper sucked. And the first words out the dude's mouth is, "I need an item.
Can I get some boots?
I need an item."
Can I get your shoes?
Like, hey, bro, I need the item. Like, man, I was over there for a little bit, and like, bro,
You guys got some cool shit.
yeah, the boots are so great. I was like, that's just super duper interesting. You could like psychology pick that one apart, but
No.
his point was that he actually had like a little wake up thing about how privileged he was in America. And I was like, yeah, dog, like
You can be
sometimes you just can't understand thingies. Like a lot of people, you have to effing live it or like, see the thing for
And
yourself.
those privileges come from how we have we were a nation built on rules, laws, and respects.
Right.
And
And
so
when you
you don't
lose your-
respect that
A little
law.
bit of taking people's shit.
You don't respect
Hey,
that
that's how the
law.
entire world
and
is gone, though.
we don't
Before
play those
America,
rules.
That's how all Europe was. Well, it was the French taking over the English and
More current.
and Africa. It was all the different tribes fighting each other, and the African tribes are the ones who sold their people who were
Well, you-
slaves in the first place. So they're not really. We just traded them for corn or weapons or iron, and then all over the entire world, or
You see-
Egypt and everybody. It was always slave trade here, wars here. We tried to Rome, take over this, that.
Right.
It's not one color people or culture. It's how the human race has been since the beginning of time.
It's just land.
And then in the last 100 years or so, we've become a little civilized. That's
So-
it. That is it.
Barely, because last week
Yeah,
we
barely.
covered. Do you know that before California became California, Mexico wasn't Mexico? And so last week the protesters started turning and saying, "Oh, and this land in California is not even
It's
America's.
stolen.
Yeah, it's Mexico's." So you go back and we looked at it, right? It was like 1850s, right?
Well,
So
that's when
Mexico.
they had the what was it?
Well, hold on. So Mexico made a deal with America to have
the
us help them get rid of the Spaniards.
Oh, the Spanish.
And then it became Mexico. And part of the deal was we gave them $5 million in the 1850s.
I think it was
Or-
more than that.
I thought it was $5 million for Canada and like the, New Mexico or Arizona, like a couple of those state land
Same
lines.
thing as Louisiana Purchase was. We bought
Right.
Louisiana Purchase from the
Right.
French
Well, wait, so
for
we
about the same price,
So not
$5
o-
million.
not only did we pay for it, we also fought in war to help them actually found Mexico.
And that's how we want
I
Norway.
think that's wildly crazy, bro.
Or-
And then also, did you hear about Trump's deal with the Congo? I forget the other countries, but he signed a
I don't
peace
know
deal
that.
down in South Africa.
Well, that's a good one.
And then the military leader of Pakistan posted that he wants to put Trump in the hat for Nobel Peace Prize for stopping a nuclear war between Pakistan and India.
That one.
And I was like,
everything else
dang.
is going on.
Yeah, we all forgot about that real
he-
quick.
Oh yeah, no, he should definitely get that.
That's a big deal too, bro. That
He
was
should.
everybody was losing their ish that.
He
that
said I
week.
squashed it with. You want to make a deal and buy and sell shit with me or not? Okay,
Right.
then
Right.
you boys, you shut the hell up.
And then
and I'll
also,
sell and buy from both you.
who out of those two is aligned with Iran?
Pakistan.
And who did not help out Iran? Because
Pakistan.
literally a week before this recent
They
thing,
have an army. They're not in another battle like Russia or China, you know.
and one may even go as far to theorize, maybe we got a little bit of intel after we inked that peace deal with Pakistan, bro. Like, that's interesting chain of events there,
No,
man.
It is. You got a very good point.
Interesting.
Very good point.
That's wild. What you got here for us, Dan?
Oh, just Trump, leaving his signature as he likes to do.
Fireworks, we did just have the Army's birthday or the 250th anniversary of the Army, and we gotta let up some good bombs for America here.
Let's see if we got some audio. No, it's just Instagram.
There's got to be something wrong on your end. This has got a great track to go with it.
Is it like not allowed to have audio from Instagram?
No, your computer's just whack.
Well, it's playing all the other ones.
That guy right here.
It needs a restart apparently.
It was playing all the other ones, homie.
This one isn't even bad, so
I know, but I'm saying it ain't my computer because it was playing the audio on the other website, so I'm blaming it on Instagram currently. Because right now it's just Instagram that's had this problem.
You need to get off Instagram and stop trying to flex.
I hate Instagram.
I don't use it.
That's
why
y'all are behind in the info.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Owned by the boomer company, Facebook.
Yeah.
Just like specifically turn down the audio here.
You've just been trying to look at too many girls on Instagram.
Bruh, that's another reason I hate Instagram.
There's stuff you can see on Instagram and you can't see on Facebook or Twitter.
There's no such thing as
you can always see everything on X.
Whatever.
Everything's on X.
There's absolutely nothing on Instagram that can't be on X.
Yeah, but the people that post there are not on X.
Sure. The issue with X is sometimes I'll search for something and I'm trying to go through it, and then there's just some porn, and I'm like, yeah, come on. I was searching for like something completely that didn't have any porn words in it at all. What the F?
Yes, there is that.
That's hilarious. So that's unedited, allegedly, the smoke.
Yeah.
Where is this?
That looks like an M80.
Yeah, that's Tehran's oil refinery getting hit.
Guys, I need you to bring me the bomb specialist. I want you to bring me the bomb scientist.
Hey, you know how fireworks can make images? I want that guy to do that with the bomb.
So is there a way? Never mind, I'm going to cancel. You're going to make a way so that when the bomb blows up, it's got my silhouette.
Perfect picture.
That's hilarious.
Hey, so Trump didn't tell you what time he was going to bomb the nuclear facilities, but I will tell you what time and place we're going to bomb this. You get a perfect picture.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
You might want to look up in the sky. There might be something interesting. People tell me there could be maybe something very interesting that's going to have a lot of shock, maybe a little bit of, there's a lot of boom, boom coming your way, but look to the sky, and it might be something sort of maybe like a bad signal, but not quite the same.
Yeah.
Why did we need to bomb Iran, Dan? Not going to give us audio, so.
Yeah. It interrupted his show. Back when Osama bin Laden was around.
Bruh. Announcement.
Trump never forgot.
If you're listening, if you're listening, this is
20 years ago. He was saying the same thing as today.
If you're listening, this is a picture of very tiny dominoes to gigantic dominoes. If you're not familiar, this is a pretty cool science energy example. So you can knock over a gigantic, huge domino by just having the right, smaller next domino, and it can be started from a tiny little domino.
They half. I believe it's
half, right?
You can 200% the next domino size, and it keeps going.
So the beginning of the tiny domino says, announcement of the death of Osama bin Laden interrupts the airing of The Apprentice. And then the last big one says, Donald Trump bombs Iran.
Never forgotten. You messed up my show. You shall pay. I will find the moment. He did the presidency just so he could get in the chair to bomb Iran for messing up his show back in the day.
I think
only sole reason he became president.
We need to do a remix of this one, and on the tiny part it says Obama when he was talking about mean tweets, and he said, "Yeah, but you'll never be president." Then drop the phone.
Boom.
And then the end is like, Donald Trump becomes president
twice.
That's Oh, I didn't even have it on the showing, so good thing we told you. Forgot to switch the camera. Oh yeah, this was a good one that you wouldn't see in the news, folks. Did you hear that there is a court case where 4 men have officially pleaded guilty to $550 million of USAID fraud? Like, hell yes. This is 100% what we effing voted for, bro.
NBA tickets?
Yeah, your tax dollars were going to NBA tickets, country club weddings, laundering millions in cash through corrupt entities, bro. 100%, dog. One defendant says exploited his position at USAID to line his pockets with bribes in exchange for more than $550 million in contracts.
Okay, the only thing we need to know about this court case is what those bribes were and from who.
Hey, bro. And they probably just pled guilty because those people said, so you gonna plead guilty.
That's why we need to know who's behind the bribes.
Yeah, like, that's not the end of it, guys. Keep going.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, so we're taking the fall. Gotcha.
I'm smelling some Pelosi and Hillary type vibes behind there.
And they're still small lemmings in the scheme of things, I think, man. Like,
more than likely.
Anybody public is like middle to low on the hierarchy thing.
Yeah.
In my opinion, even George Soros. I think George Soros is middle level, dude.
Yeah.
You know, call me crazy.
Definitely could be.
I don't think anybody public we know is actually on the tippy top of the hierarchy scheme.
Yeah. The real evil stays hidden in the caves.
Okay, here we got the deets, folks. This is the one that I mentioned earlier in the show. So Mr. Dan Bongino, after all those criticisms of everybody saying they're not doing nothing. Oh yeah. He ain't got no time to eat, bro.
They say politics gets heavy.
I'm gonna say it looks like somebody.
I mean, he looks like he's.
Oh, I think he's getting
cancer
fit.
patient, or I mean, he's lost a little weight.
Okay, hold on. Let's think about this, homie. There's two jobs, okay? You're a podcaster with a good wife and a family, and you're just kind of chilling. And then now you're supposed to be the gangster, like FBI director guy.
Tell you what, that face is gangster as hell, though.
And you're leading a bunch of FBI agents that you want to be like hound dogs and on their shit. He probably went back to the gym hardcore fam and is eating right.
Yeah,
and
his jaw's looking cut.
Trying to be very healthy.
He looks like
somebody tear some shit up.
Yeah, he looks like
Jack,
I don't want to
mess
talk
around. You're gonna find out.
So the burying the lead here, folks. He reported that they arrested 449 child predators and rescued 224 kids with 2 operations. Okay, I lied. So I thought I mixed my numbers up. That's messed up. So 224 kids, still a lot of kids, half than what I thought. 450 criminals?
So you got
God.
double the criminals out of the kids that you got.
Like, what the
2
F?
operations. So you're talking.
That's insanity.
2 operations. Each one you got 250 bad or 225 bad people, and 100 kids in each one.
They just
you split it. And that's pretty crazy. And if that should happen, and I'm in control, and I have to hear about the shit,
I know.
my face probably gonna look like that too. I have kids. I tell you what, fuck around and find out, and I'll be killing you.
Wood
you'll
chipper.
be dead. Wood chipper it is.
God bless.
I know a place right off the river. Beautiful.
Like, God bless, dude. Yeah, I cannot believe that 450 like criminals.
Oh, that's good.
He looks like
child
somebody.
criminals,
It looks
bro.
like he
Like
just
child
watched
herder
somebody piss in his Cheerios.
Yeah, bro. That's worse than that.
Worse
bro.
than that.
God dang, like right in his face or something.
Jack
dog.
with the
Like,
kids. Time to
looks
find
like
out.
he just watched 450 child criminals get caught. Like, that's insanity. So this is
No, he had to
exactly
have
what we have
400
voted
stories.
for, folks. Exactly. And I think I got down here.
Where's that liberal from the Facebook chat from last week?
Oh, look at all these Republicans.
Guarantee those 450 are all Democrats.
Very likely.
Maybe 10 of them.
Very likely. So he was giving a report here. One of my points I was saying was Dan Bongino and Cash were getting a lot of heat about like, oh, what have they done yet? What have they done yet? Or something, right? So now he's gotten clever and probably has had somebody type this out for him. But this is on his FBI account, right? So one of the staffers probably posted this. But they were outlining the operations here. So it was 250 kids, kid herders, and 464 purveyors. What is that? Like people connected? And then 115 kids in one operation. That's insanity, bro.
They're probably like people that helped out.
Right, like that connected to the herder. Yeah.
Aiding and abetting.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Right. The familiar, if you're into vampires. But yeah, outlined some big wins. We are making progress on a number of high-profile cases, including the COVID cover-up, the Dobbs leak, the pipe bomb investigation, and more. We located and apprehended 3 of the FBI's top 10 most wanted and hope to have more updates soon. This is just like this week's update, folks.
That must be the new top 10.
That's what I'm saying, like just this week's or something, right? And then the other one, the video we watched when they were pointing out that Cash's team took down the top 10 already, like in the first few weeks. He's like, he kept being like, bro, the first few weeks, like, dude, all 10. First few, like, what were they doing last presidents? You know?
Yeah, because
100%, dude. Like,
yeah, because
they're going through the paperwork.
Yeah, well,
why didn't you get any of these guys?
Right.
Yeah, Comey.
You guys ain't getting them. Hey, you go get this guy. They already got the paperwork on. You go get this guy. I don't even have to do the work. The work's here. You go get him. You go get him. All right, now we got them all. Now let me go through this pile of paperwork. Oh, hang on. There was a hall down the road, in that far left corner in the bottom of the basement with the lock and key. We busted that door open.
Yeah.
Guess what? There's no files going on in any of this. You. Go through there and go tell me what's all in there.
Seriously.
There's a lot of crazy shit in there, boss. Send it to me and keep digging. Find the rest of it.
If you were going to say something?
Yeah, it's gone now.
Gone. Yeah, Dan's not good at keeping it. Oh, but dude, 100%. It's like, so we got all the information and you guys just like didn't do your job.
They try hiding it all. They hide it all. That's the problem.
In conjunction with our federal partners, we apprehended, imprisoned, and deported thousands of illegal aliens. Most of these illegal immigrants had extremely violent criminal histories. We told you that the rioting was not going to slow us down. It has not. We are fully engaged. We made numerous personal changes to the leadership of the FBI, and we reorganized the structure of the FBI to ensure the mistakes of the past are corrected, penalized, and not repeated. Yes, we like the word penalized here, folks. That's the accountability we effing voted for, bro.
Penal.
God dang. Yeah, Dan just likes the penal part.
Straight to jail.
We are closing the FBI headquarters building and moving to the alternate location, which will save the taxpayer billions of dollars. We are billions. Good God. We are also moving people out of the headquarters assignments and back into the operational law enforcement and counter-terrorist roles. Heck yeah, bro. Arrested multiple foreign intelligence targets engaged in illegal act. Are you tired of winning, man? Are you tired of winning, man? It's like, oh man, people glaze over when you read a list this long, bro. Like people go like, I get it, and just like glaze over. God, process of rolling releases on items of public interest, blah, 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 blah. Completed JFK files, RFK files, China 2020 election. Rolling out nationwide summer violent crime crackdown. Not going to have another summer of love. Making changes to hiring processes. Like, God bless, bro. Keep the updates rolling. Dan Bonajingo, we love it, dude. God bless. So if you want to see these updates, folks, go and follow the FBI DD Bongino account on X. Go on and follow that one and get your flipping updates. That's freaking awesome. I want more of that. That's some more like right into the vein. Right into the vein.
Go on study. He's a true American.
Dang, bro. That's awesome. Yeah, this was the Top Gun one, so we already covered that. Boop, boop. Dano with the hitting us with a bunch this week. Oh, hopefully Facebook's got audio for us. All of a sudden, like his movies even more.
Oh, I love this guy.
Bro, why is it just okay? Oh, God bless. Is that a fake volume button?
election. They want to think it has something to do with misogyny or racism. Well, let me clear it up for those still bewildered Democrats. You lost because you tried to tell the American people that the economy was great when they couldn't afford to buy groceries. You lost because you ran a moron in place of a president you knew was a corpse attached to a car battery. You lost because you lied about January 6th, calling it worse than Pearl Harbor or 9/11. You lost because men can't have babies, women don't have, and free speech isn't a privilege like a driver's license. It's a God-given right guaranteed by our Constitution. You lost because you fired doctors, nurses, scientists, and frontline workers for refusing to take an experimental gene therapy because my body, my choice only counts if it's about abortion. Democrats still seem...
Well...
Preaching to the choir here, right, dude? Rob Schneider's got
that's the winner right there.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I'm
Schneider, dude.
All of a sudden, I'm gonna put on Bruce Bigelow when I get home.
Yeah, right. You watch your Bruce Bigelow, and you're not gonna watch The Animal.
That's a good one.
I love The Animal.
That was your favorite. Nice, love it. I hear the whole team is actually kind of cool, man.
What?
Like the Happy Madison team, like
yeah,
what's his name?
With him and
yeah, they're all kind of cool.
Him being
Sandler
like
and
our
all
side
those
of
guys.
things.
Yeah, I was gonna say the movie with Adam Sandler where he's with Jennifer Aniston out in like Hawaii and he's the sheep farmer.
Yeah. And the newer one from Netflix, right?
What? No, that was the Blended family. He's talking about Blended.
That one was that's what's called.
What? Yeah, he's
no, it's not called
Sandler's
Blended.
out in Africa with another girlfriend and her family.
Because the Jennifer Aniston ones were where they were like accidental spies or something, right?
Jennifer Aniston was supposed to be just his co-worker, like assistant at the dental office that he was at.
Oh, but he ended up bringing the kid, her
yeah.
kids with his kids, and then they ended up getting married at the end or whatever.
Right.
That's why called it Blended.
Yeah. Well said, Dan says here. They sure are indoctrinating them darn kids.
Another celebrity speaking out.
Oh, cool.
For the real truth.
Who the hell's this?
I forget his name. Is it
Liberal. That's
actually
just
Jeff
Republican
Dye?
now, which I think in this town makes me a Nazi. You know, like, it's the same thing. I'm pro-gay, and that's not good enough. You have to be pro-trans and pro all this new thing. But if a girl was to like a truck and baseball, instead of us in 2001, we go, that's a tomboy. Now we would go, oh, well, she has to cut off her and she must be trapped in that body. It's an attack on the gay community, in my opinion.
You're sterilizing them, you're compromising their brain development, or bone development. The fact that we're getting past that so easily?
Yeah, I'm afraid it's far more nefarious than that. What is a safe space? They say it's a safe space, but really it's just a way that they can get you alone and indoctrinate you.
Oh my God, you're
They'll
so
say, oh,
right.
you know, you don't have to ask your parents. They wouldn't get it. They're old. Don't ask your older brothers or sisters. We'll give you a safe place where we can give you Marxist nonsense. It's not safe. It's not safe from you. You're a grown-up and I'm a little kid and you're trying to confuse me.
There's a law that's
almost like an entire lie.
It's
Like
almost like those people are just starting to, you know, to just sprinkle in the pedophilia from the roots.
Yeah.
When we all went to high school, middle school, there was no such thing as a trans person. I know some gay kids. No. There's some tomboys.
And there were. It's just
no,
like one.
they were not trans.
There's always
That didn't
been
happen until the
real.
last 5-6 years.
There's always been real transvestites.
Yeah.
But that's an actual medical condition.
No, there's been sex changes for decades. It's just it wasn't like everywhere in schools and blah,
I'm
blah,
more
blah.
talking about
It
like
wasn't.
hermaphrodites.
Yes, I know. I'm just saying there were people that felt like they were the wrong gender and then got a surgery. That system and surgeries. That's been
and again, it, just like COVID, it was like 0.1% of the population.
Nothing.
0.00, or something, right? Like, but it was a thing, right?
says if kids are transitioning socially in school, you don't have to tell the parent.
Which is what people wanted to separate religion and state from. Is if you're going to be teaching my kids all day, I would appreciate it if you didn't try to infiltrate their mind with religious things that maybe we don't want our kids to have. But it's perfectly okay.
Like another hypocrisy thing, right? 100%.
To teach them about their religion of being woke, or their religion of gender theory, or their religion of communist values. Like, that's their religion. Like, they're literally indoctrinating them.
True.
I'm a 2001 liberal. That's just
like classical liberal, right?
Yeah. Don't even let them do the Pledge of Allegiance in school anymore now?
Yeah, no, they cut that out a while ago, I believe.
Yep.
Yep. That's
Terrible.
absolutely bonkers. I think
I
private schools.
bet real
Yeah,
woke
this
schools have
one.
a pledge of allegiance to the Palestinian flag.
Excuse me?
I'm just saying. I bet.
Oh. I was
Not,
I thought
not
you
like
said
it's
you
a
heard one.
not like saying it, I've seen it as a real thing, but I bet in those schools they probably have some sort of pledge of allegiance to the Palestinian flag, basically.
I bet you there's a few where like the teacher maybe did it. or
Almost every
something,
single
right?
Yeah.
country in the world probably has you say a pledge of allegiance to that country's flag besides America.
That makes me think I saw some
I
random.
guarantee it. I almost guarantee it.
China
saw-
definitely does. Russia definitely
Well,
does.
you know what? I'm just saying. You start thinking about it. I guarantee almost every single country does besides America.
I think I have the video actually. That reminds me one of these videos. Oh no, it was on my X feed. Anyway, the guy was going through like the penalties.
If you don't say it,
No,
in
no, no,
other
no.
countries,
No,
off
like
with your head.
slight different was the penalties of criminal alien, like going into a
Oh,
country
yeah, yeah.
illegally and all these other places. In Russia, it's 2 years in a labor camp. North Korea, it's death. Like in India, it's like a year in prison.
Don't
like
come here.
6 months in prison, and like another place. Like all of them were like hella strict, dog. Like it was just like no,
no illegals.
no, like you can't do that,
You
bro.
can do
Like,
a little bit of tourism, but you're in and you're out.
yeah. So this one, we're going back in the week here, folks. If you haven't heard this one, man, god dang. So the story about that Democratic shooter guy, right?
Oh my god.
That they were trying to say was Republican and a MAGA supporter.
Oh,
and he-
kind of like Thomas Crooks.
Right.
Yeah.
So he shot 2, but they didn't die. And then he shot 2 others and they both died.
Yeah.
Right. So this guy now wrote a letter
Saying
that
Tim
claims
Walz
that
told
claims
him to do it.
that claims he was secretly trained by the FBI to be a murder guy, like a professional.
I believe the word trained is also referred to as
Assassin?
nudged.
And right, bro.
Or
And then claims
MK Ultra.
right, and then claims that Mr. Tim Walz directly gave him instructions to have a hit list, and one of them was to take out Rep. Amy Klobuchar. And like I don't think we have to say allegedly for legal reasons. Like
No.
the letter's out there. The guy like wrote this letter, like, and I guess the letter is like it comes off like handicapped, like it's all like jumbly and said weird and stuff like that.
But when you're brainwashed, your brain's all over the place.
That
this is super weird.
That government
No, I
grade
heard
meth
that.
was kicking.
Yeah, this is super duper weird, bro.
But and how does he get away? He does one killing, goes to it sits out there. The cop knocks on the window and he lets him drive away. Then he goes to the next one. The cops come up. He shoots at him.
Yeah.
Then he gets into the house.
He didn't go in.
No, he shoots the people in the house, kills both of them. The cops
Then go
lose
in
him,
and couldn't find
and
him.
then he drops all this stuff. And he's supposedly a fatter with a limp guy and gets away from the cops and then runs for 2-3 days.
It was a couple days.
It was 2 days. It was multiple
wow.
days.
And how did they know who it was?
Exactly.
Yeah, right. That's what I want to know. Like if we only had
When
like
he's
I'm
got
pretty
the-
sure they had like a couple street cams, like CCTV type,
Okay.
that
Before he
that
threw the mask
eventually
on.
like
What?
because he ditched all his stuff and then they found like like just came out of nowhere.
he had a cell phone on him, and they did the cell phone.
Yeah,
And they-
because there was one where he had just like a cowboy hat, but you could see
You know,
his
they found the
face and
cowboy hat
stuff.
too.
Right.
And did you hear about the wife with a fat load of cash and a passport
Yeah.
Multiple passports.
passports.
and guns in the car?
Right.
And they pulled her over,
Oh,
and then hang on, they
Oh me.
let her go and didn't arrest her.
Like wait, what?
Hang on.
Like what?
Cash in hand, passport. Where are you traveling to?
How much cash?
Hang on. And now you got guns. Where you going shooting on your vacation at? While your husband, he's your husband, but he lives at another place too because he had a
With
roommate
a roommate,
that wasn't with you.
married and 5 children.
Married and 5 children. But how does he have a roommate at this other place?
No sense at all, bro. I don't know about
It's
you, but
one of these situations like,
I've been arrested for way less, dog.
what are you talking about?
I got pulled over and arrested for a bad muffler.
Bad muffler. Hey, don't worry. Your wife's out there blasting people away, and you're running away with guns and ammo and money and a passport. Don't worry, I'm just going on a vacation.
And the wife was an intern for Tim Walz when he was a congressman.
And so was he.
Well, not intern, but he worked
You're just connected
the
in the
workforce
office.
committee.
Yeah, no.
He worked for the workforce committee.
And that came out before the letter of him saying that Tim Walz told me to go whack the people. And
this is all historical evidence before the roommate tried to claim that he was a MAGA supporter and didn't like Jim Biden. And who was the other one? He said, doesn't like Jim Walz and doesn't like Jim Biden.
You don't know anybody.
So like, wait, what? What are you saying, roommate guy?
But then he's a Trump supporter, but then he has no King's Day stickers in his car.
Right.
Folders.
Those two. Yeah. Bro, this one is bonkers, bro.
I mean,
Jim Walz
if
and
you're
Jim
gonna make
Biden.
a conspiracy theory, there's some
That's
conspiracies here, and if it smells funky, there's definitely some funky enough.
And then did you see the roommate, man? Like, not to do like, judge people by how they look.
Hey, that guy right there.
Like, homie, I don't know about you.
The guy that they asked to see the text message, he was like, no, you can't
He
see
just
it.
read it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm sorry.
He said no.
And then he wouldn't read it a second time either.
Real.
Yeah, they asked him to read it again. He's like, no, that's enough for me today. It's too emotional.
Like he did the like crybaby thing.
Yeah.
'Cause he started breaking down while he was reading it, like theatrical, bro. But I don't know about you, bro. But this guy's kind of like on my wood chipper radar, dog.
I mean, if he can fit in it.
I just
you're gonna have to chop it into pieces.
I'm just thinking. I bet he's got
like
a heck of a Dungeons and Dragons profile.
We do not support any sort of violence at all or whatever, but this is one of those dudes that just the way he looks like he takes care of himself, it's like you're not very credible source, bro.
No,
and
he
I
worked
would
at Papa John's.
And
Same
so,
as my troll.
So for all the like, all like people are racist and white people like walk to the other side of the street if they see a black person. Nah, dog, it ain't nothing about color. I walk to the other side of the street with my kid if I seen this dude.
That guy looks like he tried to grab my kid and I have to cut his.
You know what I'm saying? Like, like
him in the
people
ass.
were on shows.
he would just grab the kid to try to make him a RuneScape profile. That's it.
Yeah, right? That's all, right? And then he's not going to do that weird AI thing and blackmail the family like that John Rich FBI story we were talking about.
Yeah.
God dang, bro. That's crazy. But I don't know. This guy looks entirely uncredible on judgmental looks. And then also looks like maybe he is a bit of a creepo, dog. Like, god dang. Like, this guy looks like the reason OnlyFans is doing well.
Exactly.
The interview was the big one for me. It's like, if you want to defend your friend, like, just show the text and whatnot. Like, you not showing it just makes it seem even fishier.
Super weird, dog. So he looks like a paid actor to me. And then he said all this shit, including that he's the one that said, oh, no, he's like a Republican and a MAGA supporter and doesn't like Jim Walz or Jim Biden, bro. Like, somebody called him up and said, like, bruh, you had one job. You had one job
Everybody's name
was to read the thing, and then you totally janked it, dog. Like,
yeah, incredible. Very incredible.
Uncredible and incredibly insane. Oh, we got
another
James O'Keefe of the week.
Ah, how did I get duped again?
Oh, dude, are you guys ready for this?
You just don't look like James O'Keefe with those glasses.
Spoiler alert: he has already been fired.
Dang, that sucks to suck.
I work for the office of the legal advisor.
Okay.
Visa adjudications, basically. Issuances and refusals. Sometimes I do say it to cab drivers that are from like Hispanic descent.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't talk to the police. I'm just saying, like, don't admit the truth. If you want a loophole, keep your mouth shut. The one group of people that I'm not a huge fan of, Yemeni people.
Really?
I hate them with a passion. They're such awful people. In the application process.
The application process.
They're
not
easy
to deal
conniving group of folks next to Indians, Bangladeshi people. A lot of the state department Jewish people, terrible Jewish people too. Like really garbage people.
white people? Okay.
It's really what it comes down to. It's a culture of hatred, ultimately, and it's a culture of dominance. I'm not going to allow that anymore. We need to create our own canary mission. And fight fire with fire.
Yeah. How do you feel about it? I don't like.
I would love for him to be dragged out of the building with his hair plugs. I would love that. And lynched on the street.
Arslan Akhtar, a visa specialist from the U.S. State Department who reviews visa applications from foreigners, has been caught on our OMG hidden cameras saying he has told illegal immigrants, don't talk to the police and don't admit the truth. And if you want a loophole, keep your mouth shut. Arslan explains that his role as a visa specialist at the State Department is mainly to review rejected visas and make sure the State Department reverses rejected visas where he deems necessary.
I work for the Office of the Legal Advisor.
Okay.
Visa adjudications, basically. So issuances and refusals. We're trying to resolve really complicated issues in immigration law. We work with attorneys, and I'm basically reaching out to embassies and consulates and getting them to reverse incorrect decisions.
Oh, nice.
Reversing a lot of visa.
Visa specialists may give extra guidance or second opinions on rejected applicants' visas, which can be a gateway into the U.S. As ICE cracks down on government officials helping illegals dodge deportation, U.S. State Department official Arslan Akhtar admits on hidden camera he's doing exactly that. He confesses to coaching Hispanic illegal immigrants on how to avoid ICE, telling them don't talk to the police, don't admit the truth, keep your mouth shut.
Sometimes I do say it to cab drivers that are from Hispanic descent. I'm like, don't talk to the police, I'm just saying, don't admit the truth. That is the ultimate loophole. Always maintain your innocence. Don't give more information. Don't tell them what you did because you think being honest will help your case. It doesn't. Exact opposite. In fact, that's all we're looking for.
This dude has been fired.
Oh yeah, well he just admitted that he's racist right there. So like the taxi drivers that look like they're probably and they're of Hispanic descent, I'll let them know. Oh, so you're just assuming that guy's illegal? Nice. Just because he's Hispanic, you just assume he's illegal. How about that? At least 50% of the people crossing the border were not even Hispanic.
100%,
ding dong.
100%.
Wow, what a piece of garbage.
So another awesome win for the James O'Keefe and the OMG group.
He really sealed the deal, saying how he's basically hand-picking, not by the book, but as he feels, letting people in or out with the visas.
Yeah, right.
Obviously, if your employer sees that, they're like, yeah, now that people see that you're involved with us and you do that, well, how could we do business with you?
Yeah.
Sorry, you just done cucked yourself. Bye-bye.
100%.
And he was probably crying worse than his girlfriend
did
after she stubbed her toe.
He said, F these people, Israelis. I hate them to death. Bad man get fired. Hopefully he's like,
hopefully he gets deported too.
Maybe like arrested for something. Because
I'm just
like at that level doing that job. I feel like behaving that way is almost some kind of a crime. That's crazy.
I would have.
I was just say, being on a jury and lying about, I'm gonna be typical and not hate on these people, and then now I'm cutting everybody else short and lying on my resume here.
And no wonder why the immigration system doesn't function fast enough. We got like a-holes in here like this or something.
What he paints himself out to be basically somebody from Iran that got over and is like, yeah, no, them Jews that we hate, yeah, we ain't letting them in this country. I got myself into where we accept their visas. Haha, little do they know that they are not getting accepted because they got an Iranian in here.
And then what
That's what it sounds like.
And what do they call that, right? Pull the ladder up? Like when you get to a place of power thingy and then you change it so then like another person can't get to that place or whatever, like.
Oh.
Pulling the rug out from underneath them.
Well, it's making it so like, now you can't get here like I did. Like, So great find from the James O'Keefe Media Group team.
Oh man, it's too bad.
Ain't gonna see that on the news.
A young guy's whole career ahead of him has just been burned and shattered.
Their only way.
And hopefully these doctors have a career that's burned and shattered, bro, because did you ever wonder or maybe hope that we would get evidence that the hospitals were nudging kids into the trans surgeries?
I've heard about this.
Because I think a lot of us would hope we'd have some kind of like evidentiary, thing to go off
Did
here.
they get bonuses just like for the COVID deaths?
Gee, that'd be bad. God dang. I bet
They
we
got
did.
a lot of money for it.
So this one is whistleblower nurse reveals shocking tactics doctors use to convince parents their kids needed trans surgeries at America's biggest children's hospital. Ouch. And it's in Texas? That's a
And
bummer.
it's from the Daily Mail.
Daily Mail's bomb. They're good.
Not bad.
Yeah. My favorite Tim Pool covers them all the time. He's got one of their journalists on the show. Very nice lady. Can't remember her name. Now I feel like a jerk, but day after I blew the whistle on June 18th, an attorney from the compliance division at Texas Children's called me. This was back in June 2024. God bless. Where's this story been? I was asked not to return to work the following day, and when I asked her why, she fumbled and stumbled, stuttered, completely incapable of answering my question. That's when I knew the hospital was in a total panic mode. Here's what happened next. She's got a good thread. So follow this lady, Vanessa Sivage, on the OLX if you are a parent or maybe mommy that cares about your children or other children in America, because God bless, hey, dude, if you want to be a trans thing later in life, maybe sometime after 18, 21, 25, when your brain's actually completed finishing, baking or something. Yeah, sure. Go do transition stuff, man. Sure. But definitely should be not nudging kids and parents into doing this at a children's level, man. In my humble opinion, we're not medical professionals here or anything, man, but call me crazy. I think this is like criminal, insane stuff right here, bro. So God bless this woman for having the tits to like men got the balls to do things, like women got the tits to do things. I don't know. Like
the brains.
She's got the gusto. She's got the strength, Maybe I just could pick one that's not
Got that strong and independent female energy to her.
I like to say
common sense.
I like to say to combat the like strong independent woman thing, why can't we just go back to strong codependent women, dog? Like, like I'm codependent on her too. She codependent on me, but flip flop on the alpha rolls once in a while, so both of us feel cool, like.
Or we're just all strong independently and even stronger when banded together.
Amen, bro. Yeah, takes a team, right, man?
For sure.
Dragon tails, bro.
Take strong codependent
two heads
women.
are better than one.
Man, these numbers are wild. When you put things in this way, I said, I am even more ticked about the whole open border criminal alien situation, that the deep state, Joe Biden admin was running here. 22 states in the United States of America have less than 3 million people. California has 2.7 million criminal aliens, adding 5 congressional seats to the state. This means congressionally, the Electoral College of California's criminal aliens have as much to say as 22 other states. Like,
kind of like
that's one of those interesting math things.
Kind of like what Elon was warning about.
Right? Like that's bonkers.
That if we can just win California, you win everything.
Hypothetically also, right, dude? Like
once you win just California and New York, that's all we need. You can win every single swing state now, and then it won't matter anymore.
That was the goal, right?
And that'll be one goal. And you'll have 5 more Congress members in the state too. That'll be, you won't be able to get enough. The state will just over trump all the other states for Congress.
Isn't that what we were covering when we were doing a lot of the pre-election news? That was like what we were speculating was the plan or some shit. Like if they could bump those, then it was like even the swing states and something wouldn't matter or some crap.
That's what Elon was talking about on the Joe Rogan
that
podcast.
was like, that was
we were
literally what he was
speculating
saying.
before it, but then he officiated it.
Like agreed or something,
Yeah. He was saying that's why he like ran so hard for Trump.
Totally.
Because he's seen that plan before the election was over. Like, if they get this, then it's over. It's a blue country and a blue country only.
Make everything go their way, and they'll start winning all the
by changing the rules.
We would have already been communism by now.
Hypothetically.
It definitely would have happened that fast.
Would have had a lot more sleeper cells. But yeah, dude, and what's also interesting though, or difficult, and I try not to get too like, oh, now I'm like back to like not thinking about the positives of right now. But if we don't do something for the like next election to make sure that one's just as important, they're just going to continue the damn plan. Like, we haven't gone far enough away from stopping it to where they could go kind of right back to where they were or something.
They got a bunch of FBI stuff coming out about how the 2020 was actually legitly fraudulent and proof of how they faked it.
Did you see what that was for? Like, what was?
Yeah. I mean, and they're still digging into
ballot stuff.
The ballot stuff.
They were printing it from China.
Yeah, with that.
So it's literal proof of communist Chinese colluding with the Democrats.
And they have a video of this
interfering, dude.
They say, "Oh, who are you voting for, and how you doing it?" "Oh, mail-in ballot," and she got a handful of ballots. "How many people are you? You're one. How many are in your hand?" Don't worry about it. I'm just fishing them out,
bruh. And we were all trying to.
That's only one person. How many did you not catch, and how many other states did you not catch?
100%.
And one of my biggest things was, how did we lose Wisconsin when more
100%.
people voted than are registered to vote?
Yep.
Okay, well, that right there, you got to restart.
Bro,
and you didn't have a bigger number than the amount of people that are supposed to be able to do it.
And the big ones that we follow, and us tiny little stupid truther cast peoples, we're all trying to sing and yell this shit out before the damn election. God dang.
And
we're all crazy.
Oh yeah.
God dang.
It's fine.
That drives me bonkers, bro.
Don't worry. Everybody votes for the zombie. No one voted for that retard. Sorry.
Oh man, I said we need to make this one viral, folks. So the deep state media has to cover it. Gosh darn it. How is no one talking about the No Kings protest peacekeeper shooting and killing a random innocent bystander, man? Like, absolutely bonkers. Mr. Tim Pool here, gotta follow him, man. Good friend of the show. If you don't like his persona, sure, move on, but he's really dope.
Well, Scott, it's because it wasn't somebody justified in shooting somebody attacking him.
Oh, I see.
AKA Rittenhouse. Like, that's the only thing that needs to be heard about. And
how much did you hear about
that
this guy?
The guy was horrible in defending his life, like, nobody needs to, like, the dude just shot innocent people, nothing to see, Well, why would we even care about that?
Yeah, I wonder if he, like, took a gun over state lines or all of the other things they made up about Kyle Rittenhouse. Haven't heard anything about this one, man.
Yeah.
Like, bonkers.
Really scary, my friends.
Oh, was this a bad link? But yeah, that's the story, folks. So this, I think I said it earlier, but No Kings protest. They had a peacekeeper with guns to keep peace, shoots at Antifa man and actually kills somebody else. And the Antifa man went to jail. Absolutely bonkers, but definitely.
So it wasn't a Republican actually shooting, because he would have hit his target.
Yeah, that's too right.
True, very true.
Very true. Wouldn't have been a bad shot from probably 20 or 30 yards away.
And then I think my favorite thing of the week. Do you remember that time that Donald Trump was the first president ever to spend his own money on improving the White House? Do you remember that? Do you remember that?
The only president that ever spent his own money to help out the White House and not take a check ever.
No. You don't even need to add that. That's just like another right?
One.
Like another, like first president ever to spend his own money to improve the White House. These cost $50,000 each. And the press conference thingy that he did of this, bro.
I loved it. I seen the whole thing.
The press conference of this was amazing because he was talking to all of the worker guys and making sure that he took photos with all of them. And then what I thought was extra realistically funny, bro.
He's telling them exactly how got the good sand. It's got to be 100% pure sand, 9 feet deep in the ground, and the pole it goes up 88 feet, 89 feet. It's about 100 feet tall, and this is what I love. I love the good construction, and you have to have the best sand. And you got all the other reporters like, oh, kind of asking this and that, and they ask dumb questions. He said, Why? That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about good construction. Look at these good fellas out here doing good man's work.
The guy in the crane passed out. I was like, it's the most realistic work scene I've ever seen. He's like, I'm just gonna chill, dog.
Hey man, let me know when the job is going.
I'm tired, bro.
Well, he's not. He's fine. He's only leaning back.
That was me on the show a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, bro. Just a working guy, bro. Like, hey, I'm here to do the job, but wake me up when there's an important part. Like,
hey, maybe he was just at awe of their work right there. He's just like, man, look at that flag all the way up there. That's just beautiful.
The sun was beating on the guy. All right, it's a hot day out there in Washington.
Yeah, let's get a little piece of this. This is fun, dude. I thought this was great. Then they were trying to ask him like, random questions or whatever, and he answered them, but then quickly was like, let's get back to talking about this, man. Like, these worker guys, they're great.
I bet the liberals are fuming having to see that huge American flag up there. It should be a Palestinian flag.
Oh, dude.
Well, and then he says, I'm going to put a nice flower bed around both of them.
Ah, neat.
Everything. It's going to be real nice.
He said he came up with this in his first term because he was like, wait a second, why isn't there like a giant flagpole out? Oh, dude, can you believe this photo was coincidentally, naturally able to be taken? There happened to be a rainbow and the helicopter popping. Maybe they scheduled the helicopter, but you can't schedule a damn rainbow. This allegedly was a real photo.
Well, when I go golfing, it pops up because it's a shot tracer for me. Traces my slice.
There you go.
That's normally the only time I see the rainbows.
You got the speech of it here.
Dude, yeah. I mean,
it was quite a ceremony this morning, guys. They put up the flagpole. Let's see if
that's like a fuck. They got him talking. I thought I put it in the comment down below. You put it in the comments down below.
One of the funny comments he had, he said, they're raising the flag. I'd say another word. It starts with an E, but then I'd be saying it forever. And you guys would hate me. I can't say the word, but you guys know the word. That's with an E.
He said they call it raising the flag, and sometimes there's another word, but I'm not going to say that word because the media will have a whole heyday with it.
There's too many of us out there, and mostly me. He said erecting.
Well,
it's like erection.
What about all the Democrats that were crying about January 6th inciting an erection? Remember that news cycle?
Yeah. But the official raising of a flag is called the erecting of the flag.
Right.
And no, officially, it's not.
Well, the same as like a building.
It's called the erection of the flag.
It's erecting the flag.
As much as it's not politically
the flag is not having an erection.
I don't know, bro. That flag does have a pretty solid erection, dog. And allegedly, it lasts 100 years, bro. He said 50 stacks. Big old flag, it'll last for 100 years.
You know what happened?
And he did 2 of them.
I mean, the pole
one in the front, one in the back. So 2 erections, one in front, one behind.
A lot of blue chew.
This is why he didn't explain it this way.
A lot of blue chew went into making these, all right?
He's like, I can't do this because I know all the workers are going to look like your 2 bros faces. I'm trying to be serious.
He was trying to be serious.
On national television.
That makes sense why the crane operator was so tired.
Oh, God.
He did a lot of work erecting that flag.
Maybe they broke all the jokes, before the TV came on, right? So then he was just tuckered out, bro.
Oh, I guarantee Trump's one of the boys. He was talking with him like, hey, is this where you guys are going to, erect the flag?
We're like 12 years old on the inside, but, you got to be an adult outside when the TV comes on.
No, the reporters were all kind of in front of him and stuff like that. And then he had a bunch of the construction workers behind him. And he was answering and talking more to the construction workers than the
And that's how he's always been.
no,
if people read his books,
Right.
like
People
that's
asking him
how he's
questions,
always
and he was,
been.
like,
He's
joking
very
with them,
close
like,
with the
"Really?
crews.
They're gonna ask me this dumb question right now? Come on now."
Yep. Actually, they're asking some okay questions on that one.
No, they weren't that bad.
Yeah, they were like
Still,
strangely
probably,
good.
That's where like, oh, hey, when you gonna bomb
How is the
Iran?
speech not coming up? God dang it.
And he was like, dude,
You get the
think
point,
I'm gonna
folks.
tell you? I'm not telling you when I'm gonna bomb them.
Yeah,
I'm
that
gonna
was
do it.
that one,
I'm gonna
right?
do it. That's what it was.
I'm sure the
Sir, could you give us the plan?
I'm sure
Write down the time and the date.
I'm sure the poles will definitely last 100 years. I wonder if the actual flag itself will last 100
there's no way
years.
the flag does.
No, as soon as they
Like,
gotta
get tapped.
The tism in me is like, what is it made out of? Is it made out of some super crazy flag material?
What I wanted to know also was the actual money breakdown of parts and labor. So if it was 50 stacks each, I was like, guy nerd trying to like hear.
You know what's crazy,
I was like,
man?
how much does the effing pole cost, homie? The pole costs like 10, 20 stacks. Because that flag, I looked it up before, and like the Dumbo flags you see at like stores or whatever, right?
The one at the Auburn Circle in Rockford,
Right.
they have a big old flag there.
Is it?
Oh yeah,
It's pretty big.
It's pretty big.
But you look those up, bro, and they are like 5, 10 stacks. Yeah. And I was like, get the F out of here. Like just the flag part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Like
big
they
flags.
go from 5 to 10K.
Think about it. Think
They
about it. Let's
only-
do a comparison here. Trump's in office. Workers come in, do some work on government property.
Right.
50 stacks. Wow, it almost sounds like a lot of money. Think about some other things. Remember when Biden was in office and the BLM murals and the paint was put? Remember those couple BLM
numbers on it? Yeah.
and the LGBT
right
QY plus negative things
Right.
were done. Remember how much those costed?
No.
Multi-millions.
Shut up.
They should
The
have paid for it
murals?
themselves.
Yes.
Oh, that's bonkers, bro. Did
Yeah.
it come with like a free Hunter Biden painting?
Yeah, that still wouldn't make it worth it. That'd be fraud. That'd definitely be fraud right there. I was just telling somebody on the weekend how they were familiar with the crap. What was it? I forget what it was called. The banana duct taped on the wall.
Oh my god.
How that went for like millions of dollars, and they were like, no. They were in disbelief. I'm like, here, I'll look it up. There you go. Read all about it. And they were it was this older gentleman, just like in disbelief.
Yeah,
Like,
right, yeah.
you gotta be shitting
That
me.
hurts the
What
regular
is
people's
this?
brain, yeah.
Yeah.
What's worse? Like a couple mil for like a silly banana thingy on the wall, or like that Banksy guy where it was a couple million, and as soon as the gavel was hit for the guy to buy it, it immediately was released into a shredder and was shredded into pieces. What's crazier?
I don't know.
So the dude just paid like $5 million for a painting that got shredded.
But hey, you know what the funny thing is?
That's silly art.
The banana one's even sillier.
that's a hard
because
flex.
If it's a real fresh banana, then in 5 days it's gonna be a different portrait than it was 5 days ago.
Yeah, it's gonna be
And
limpy
then
banana.
5 days after that, yeah.
It's gonna be a droopy one. falling off the
Erection
wall.
does not last 100 years.
But ain't that crazy? You know, it's weird. Like, not that much more work. Multi-millions of dollars was spent by Biden. So all that's showing right there is Trump's workers actually get paid what they get, you know, in work back. That like they get paid a right amount for their work. They're not getting retired off one job like the workers that Biden hired. Like, hey, yo, you're my buddy pal. Okay, I'm gonna use the taxpayer money to retire you in this one last job, so you don't got to work ever again. Since you know me and I'm Big Daddy Biden, and you won't get that deal unless you fire that guy. You know,
And
wink,
then,
wink, Burisma.
And then it's like another duh, dude. But like, you know, that happened, and nobody was on the television or our team even screaming about like, oh, this ignorant spending of that much effing money, bro. Can you imagine if he paid something bonkers for like that? They were trying to jack him for doing the 250th effing celebration of our army that was misspent money.
Yeah.
No,
And
that-
it's like, dude, how much money did they save on USD? Eat it.
Yeah.
We're doing the celebration of our country, dog. Like, God dang. Like,
The people that have bled and cried and sweat and just been put through shit
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't
for
like it's an odd
250
number.
years so
It
you
wasn't that
can
crazy.
have the freedoms you do. And you're like, no, we can't have a celebration for them. Screw that. Oh, but y'all are complaining that your pizza parties aren't enough at your mundane ass jobs where you push little couple buttons on the keyboard a couple times a day and click, click, clack, clack.
And not to mention the pizza parties,
Like,
but also the
suck
hot
one
dog
off.
parties under Obama's
Yeah, and those the Pizzagate parties.
That's a
Pizzas
little
and hot
strange.
Let's go here.
This was just the receipt on, her talking about, hey, absolutely 0 criminal aliens have crossed the border last month. So
Yeah, I seen that one. Hey, I seen something to say she was fired.
no, I do not believe that.
Okay.
That would.
I wanted to
We'll find that
yeah.
out quick though. We won't see her on the
wanted to
TVs.
know. Yeah, if we don't see her tomorrow.
Hey, there's your
we'll know.
post.
Yeah, that's the chick.
Oh, that guy. What is that? A guy? or no?
Covering up the fact that the liberal organizers shot. Oh yeah. So I posted it like twice or something. This was that chick. Yeah. So this is just a repeat one.
Organized the No Kings protest. 5501 is responsible for many of the protests that were organized, and they stated on Facebook they were directly involved in the shooting of an innocent person, and the police arrested the guy they shot at. Now, there's video. I'm not going to show the full video because the video, it's just a panning shot from a rooftop, but there are stills. The first thing I want to show you is this. This is from Utah News Dispatch. Man dies after being shot in chaotic scene at Salt Lake City's No Kings protest. They go on to say, in a Facebook post by Utah's 50501, the group that organized, it's working with police saying, quote, our team was directly involved. We have been in direct contact with law enforcement. Some of you seem to think a keyboard or social media gives you a free pass to be nasty and accusatory. Our teams just had to deal with something extremely traumatizing, and when faced with personal risk to their own lives, chose to run toward the danger in order to serve the community. Lies. The video that was released shows a far left guy in black bloc. He's wearing all black. He's an Antifa guy. He's carrying a rifle legally pointed down. 2 peacekeepers from presumably this group, they're saying they're involved, are holding pistols, pointing it at him, and they fire 3 shots. The dude ducks after getting shot at and runs. They had already shot and killed the guy when this guy started running. The narrative they're putting out is they saw a man manipulate his rifle, and then when they yelled at him to stop, he ran into the crowd, so they opened fire. And someone got caught in the crossfire. But when you watch the video, you can clearly see that is not.
And bro, that's why we got to spread this one out hot, bro. Like, pull this effing up on your feed, whatever one. Instagram, find it on there. Just search it or something on the X, bro. Share this effing out on your profile and don't be a wussy dog. Because they're like literally just doing the old same thing they always do and completely lying about the story.
You gotta think about why, because they have a narrative to push.
Yeah, for the narrative.
And all I can think is that, especially since they arrested the guy that got shot at, that was actually legally, as he said, carrying his gun. Well, what are they about? They're about gun control. So more than likely, this happened the way it did because he was going to speak out, or the reporters were going to ask him questions. Police were ordered to arrest him so they could basically give him a briefing on what he can and cannot say once he goes back out in the public. And then they let the other guy go, pretty much. So now they can go, oh, see, like, guns are bad. This is why we need gun control, because there is this crazy dude with a gun. And then if they tell or threatened him behind closed doors to not say why he was there, what he was doing legally and everything,
and then
it looks like it was a whole setup just for guns are bad. We need to take them down.
Yeah, because then both of them are actually on the bad guy team or some crap. The No Kings people and that's an Antifa man.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely bonkers. They're doing the full bold shit faced lie thing on that one, bro.
Man, that just goes to show that was probably just how stupid they are. They literally thought it was like a Rittenhouse. So they're like, oh, yo, we gotta shoot them. They're shooting at their own people, basically. Which I seen a post that was a comedic post. Where this guy was talking about, yo, anybody in the LA area that is a Republican, take Trump stickers and stick them on all the people's cars that are down at the riots, all the Democrats' cars, and watch them screw up each other's cars.
I saw one where the guy claimed he did that and then was sitting around laughing, watching them screw up other people's cars. Like he was talking in past tense, like he did it allegedly, and I was like, oh, I hope to God,
Yeah,
he did that. That's hilarious.
That is hilarious.
That's hilarious. So are you guys familiar with Blue Sky?
Oh yeah.
So that is the one that Jack Dorsey made after Twitter got bought, or he left the company, and then that's where all the
Democrat
wacko
social
extreme
media safe place.
where all the wacko woke leftists went, right? So it's like a jackbox, right?
Not Threads, right?
No, different one. But it's worse than Threads, dog. It's like where all the wackos that were like FX and Elon and blah blah blah, they all went there, right? And if you say one thing against the woke ideology, you get banned, right? Are you ready for this?
I'm gonna make one just to get banned.
This is what's dank about having a 40-year-old millennial man as a vice president of the United States, okay?
Who knows everything about tech?
J.D. Vance, yeah, who's also actually tech industry man, right? J.D. Vance decided he was going to make a Blue Sky account and prove a point, and he was banned in, I believe it was 15 minutes. Now, can you guess what he came out and said?
I bet the moderator
came
was
out swinging,
shitting
bro.
their pants. And they're like, yo, can you check? Am I reading this right? J.D. Vance made a profile here? No, this can't be real.
Come on, we could have got popular right here.
So
Quick.
he said in a very professional and like nice manner, "Hey guys, hi, I'm on Blue Sky now. I'm so happy.
Hello, Booski.
I'm so happy and like, ready to talk to people here about like how transgender this and like how I don't know about that and like all this." And boom, done. Dude was banned, bro. So I think that this is a great point that he was making, because the effing vice president goes to a place and like, sure, he was maybe trying to be a little bit trolly, but then presented his question in a fair manner of, hey, let's have some open discussion. And they were like, we know you're trolling, so banned. That's censorship to its fullest degree.
Yeah.
Like he was, yes, trying to prove a point, I think here. Yes, he was trying to go get banned, but he did present it in a fair and open way that
just goes
I think
to
it just proves
prove
the
they're
point.
a club and not about actual inclusion.
And by club, you mean cult?
Yes.
Yeah, a very big cult.
I thought that was pretty awesome for a vice president to do, bro. That's awesome.
He's got to fill the shoes of Trump, the #1 troll of all trolls.
Another tinfoil hat theory proven, conspiracy fact. So all of a sudden, coincidentally, after we have all these criminal aliens deported and self-deported, housing prices are starting to cool off at the same time.
Interesting.
I tell that to many people, the more people in the country makes less housing for people to get into. And
you mean that supply demand thingy that's been around since like the effing creation of humans? Like,
so there's people that work at my uncle's architectural company that need places to stay, and they're staying in hotels and stuff like that. Would love to rent my grandma's house out that just passed away, and we're like trying to sell it and this and that. I said no, me and one of my brothers are gonna buy it.
Yeah.
And my brother, he also is a nurse, and he's got a couple of nurse guys that do travel nursing.
Cool.
They're living in hotels,
Yeah, right.
paying $2,000 a month, and they can't find places to stay either.
No shoot.
No. I'm telling you this, and these people that are an architect and nurses. And I've heard many stories of people who can't find places that live in hotels.
That's crazy.
And these aren't people that don't make no money.
Well, and then also that really blows that's the way they got to stay here while they're working. Like they got to stay in a hotel. That kind of sucks.
Oh yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
Even when you're like, if you're traveling a whole lot, but if you're here for more than multiple months,
like quickly.
No,
if you're quickly
That's
hotel,
one thing.
whatever.
No, these are people that have been here for 6 months.
Right.
And you can't find no place to live, so you're living in a hotel, and you're still looking.
I guess it's supporting business, but not small business. I'd prefer it to be like supporting small local renters.
Until black raccoons and bike.
You know what's weird? Because they were trying to remember the argument. We need those people in here so then they can actually make the houses so we don't have the housing problem anymore. Well, then how come the housing problem was still there?
Where's the
we didn't get there yet. You didn't give us enough time.
Where's the land
For
at?
anybody who thinks they didn't have enough time, look at how fast they can build a house. Bull frickin' shit.
Yeah.
A team,
you don't know to spend money.
The right team of them can literally build a house from start to finish in about a week or two.
No.
And they've been here
From
for
like prefab parts?
Oh, dude. No, dog. Literally. They will build everything.
And just frame and 2x4?
They make the frames too.
For a lot of houses,
The longest part of the
the
longest part of the process is the people, if they're making a house with a basement, the people that have to come dig the foundation, pour the foundation. That's the longest part.
wait for that,
After that's done, that house is erected in about a week to 2 weeks. If they have the supplies, oh yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Bruh. Why does that
I did
take
heating and
months?
cooling, and
union breaks.
That's insane.
And subdivisions for Petrie something around here,
Uh-huh.
and they were building a whole subdivision. So you got 8 houses, and you got about a day to do each of the heating and cooling, and you put in all the ducting, and the electrical guy come in, and then you move to the next house, and the electrical guy comes in right behind you, and within about 2 weeks or so, the whole house is up.
That's ridiculous.
And so, because each contractor does his own part, you know what I mean?
I thought fast would be like 1-2 months or some crap.
I mean, still, even if it was that, with
still
how many are in here, and
it started immediately, bro. Like it was like first year there was like bills and millions coming in.
Yeah, and how come there's not a plethora more of houses? Oh, it's almost like they were paid to stay and occupy other places that were already there, that were for us and built by us. But then all of a sudden we couldn't utilize our own crap because the government said, nah.
Almost like if you give people a buttload of money, they'll be like, wait, why would I go do things for like work?
Wait,
effort?
are you talking about communism?
Yeah,
Sounds
dude.
like California, and their train that costs like 10x the time.
He likes burning them on that one.
He loves Trump burn them.
Governor Newsom, he doesn't know how to spend money, folks. That little tiny train of his.
Yeah, it's supposed to go from one place to another, and it don't go anywhere.
So this graph, if you're listening, is showing a 25% decline from 2023-4 to now, which is crazy, man. So 22 to 24, we peaked out at around a $500,000. I'm guessing this is like an average cost or some shit. 500,000 average cost or something, right? Now we're down to a 300, say 400,000. So it dropped 100,000, aka 25% drop. That's interesting. All the way back to 2014, though, it was 323,000. So it had been jumping up quite significantly, only in like 4 years. Look at that 2016, it went up even during Trump's presidency. But then wait, during Trump's presidency, a couple years after he got in and got some shit going, it dropped from 2018 to 2020.
Well, you know what happened
for the only time in this chart.
Wait.
COVID started happening, and then Trump got kicked out.
No, that couldn't have.
But this is price go down. That should have went up.
No. Remember, that would have been coming. That would have been coming up to election time, and what was their goal? To make Trump look bad. And who was the biggest owner and still the biggest owner of most single-family homes in the country? BlackRock, who is opposed against Trump.
Well, I guess, yeah, that was pre-pandemic was when it went down. So 2018 to 2020.
Which was right before the election.
And it shot up like crazy.
Yeah, to make it look bad for Trump and look good for Biden. Which all that was BlackRock manipulating the market.
I would imagine. 100%. Which, by the way, they're manipulating the cryptocurrency markets right now, and it's all on sale. Not a big sale, but it's on a little bit.
Yeah, I noticed that with Bitcoin over the weekend. There was on a little bit of a sale.
You need help? Love to help you out. You gotta get on it, man. Like this is the last call before blast off. We're in a strangely elongated bull cycle right now, so it's like any day, month, week, couple months.
This is not financial advice.
It's gonna just blow up. Yeah. It's gonna go blow. So right now,
actually,
like
no. I hear there's this other way better investing.
$1,000 into Bitcoin in 10 years, it'll be 100,000.
Right. And not even.
But Bitcoin's not.
It's about the 7 to 10x.
What's the name of that other one that's way better?
What?
You know which one I'm talking about.
No, I don't know.
Oh, you do.
Trump coin?
No, the scam.
Which one?
The
Billcoin?
No, the company that has non-named banks and insurance companies.
Oh, that crypto.
Yeah.
Don't buy crypto. That one looks like a scam. Don't buy that.
Sorry, Sean.
But this guy, Plan B, because you're an Xer, right? Follow this dude on Plan B, bro. He's the business. So he came out with this stock to flow chart that's just like OMG, been on point, like holy shit so far, right? And so blah blah blah. If you haven't heard this story before, have I told you this one before? I'll give you the quick rundown.
Yeah.
So the TLDR, right? So reds are bullish market. Yellow is we are cooling down, but money's going around. And greens are bear market time, okay? And so far, all of these things have happened exactly in a 4-year cycle because there's a 4-year cycle built into Bitcoin where it halves how many are minted into existence, okay? So you understand how inflation works. Print more money, lose value. Bitcoin is the opposite, where it lets out less to then increase value, okay? So this is almost mathematical guarantee kind of thingy. So every 4 years, price go up. And if you look at the price increases, they're, going on a slope. So they're lessening. However, the next estimation of price increase, I've been screaming from one of his charts for years. It was around 750 grand. It's looking like that might not happen this current bull cycle we're in, like the next OMG blow up, right? But we're looking at minimum 250 to 500,000. So that's a doubling from right now. So if it's 100K right now, we go up 250. That's a double. If we go up to like what looks like it's going to be 750K, dog, and it's going to go maybe blow past it, like this line, it blows past, comes down, blow past, come down. If it does that, guys, we're definitely talking about touching the 1 million Bitcoin in this new bull cycle. So then what you're saying, like 10 years out, bro, we're talking this is 100% going to be more than $1 million over 10 years. And, not 100%, 98%. Going to be over $1 million in 10 years. Absolutely bonkers. Because 10 years would be a whole nother four.
Could be a whole lot more Bitcoin millionaires.
Yep. And then, so there's only ever 21 million coins to ever exist in the code, right?
So then you only buy into coin.
What?
So you can't buy a coin. Or
do you have $100,000? You can buy a coin right now.
And then you have one coin.
You'd have one coin. So this is why. So
But you
reminder,
buy parts of a coin.
Correct. Yeah. So reminder, I started a trading education company in 2018, so I know a buttload about this, right? So back then, bro, if you were into this, the whole thing was like, bro, make sure you just get a coin as fast as you humanly possibly can. So you're like real cool in the crypto world if you got a whole Bitcoin, right? But what I was trying to say was, so in the code, it says there will only ever be 21 million, and the last one doesn't get minted till like 2150. So it's a long way past our.
So every year they still make one or two.
Every 20 minutes, there's new Bitcoins that come out. But right now, it's not the real number. Let's just say 50. And so at each halvening, which is every 4 years, it'll be half less. So then it's only 25 that are minted for the next 4 years. And then it's only 12.5
or whatever.
Then it's only, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think we're down to like the half of 34, something like that, right? But anywho, and then out of that 21 million that will only ever be created, it's estimated that upwards to 5 million are like locked away in wallets that people threw out the hard drive before they thought this was going to be a real thing, or people that forgot their wallet key, like password thingy to get in, or like Satoshi Nakamoto, who is allegedly believed to be the creator, who's dead. He has like 1 million in his wallet address. So 21 million minus the 5-6 million. Let's just say there's only going to be 15 million ever in existence.
And then Trump say he wanted to buy 1 million of them.
So he way more than that. He wanted to put like 15 million in this like trust fund thingy, and it was like based on Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, some of the big ones.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be genius because, god dang, like it looks like crypto is going to rule the money world, bro. So very, very interesting. If you are interested in investments, do your own research and definitely think about getting yourself some Bitcoin. And if you don't have a lump sum to put in, all you got to do is use Coinbase or Cash App. Those are the biggest, easiest ways to do it. And you just put on an auto buy of whatever you can afford, $50 every 2 weeks, and your dollar cost averaging in. So that's only $100 a month, man. Just find a way to make a little bit more money. And my greatest favorite example is there are people that put $250 in a wallet in 2021. And then in 2024, that was $2,500. That's a 10x in 3 years. That's crazy. And it's pouring rain in my window. I think
it's about 11 o'clock.
That's about near all I have. Oh, I had
Get out of here.
honorable mention if you didn't see Arnold Schwarzenegger super politely shoved it in the View's face, bro. They were trying to lead him into a.
And then you get the whole hand.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, Dan.
That was my point. He puts
We don't talk like that, Dan.
She puts her hand on him.
Come on, we're friends. Come on, you're not supposed to do this, Arnold.
They set him up. Did you see this one?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah.
They tried to.
If you didn't see this, folks, check it out. It's great. They set him up to kind of be talking bad about immigration, and then he was like, "America's best thing ever."
I am an immigrant.
They gave me everything I have in my life: my bodybuilding career, my acting career, my wife and my children, my family. And if you're an immigrant, you're a guest. If you go to someone's house, what do? You make sure you clean things that you did. So if you come to America, you should do things back for America and for free sometimes. You should give back to community for free to thank America for everything they gave you.
You respect the house you're visiting. You should respect the country that's letting you in there.
And Whoopi's face the whole time, bro. She was salty, bro. Oh man, this is great. And then what was funny though is whether he believes this or not. Okay,
he 100% believes it.
He then said,
I watched him on that what was it, Theo Von podcast the other day.
He then also says, well, they are going to have me give the speech at the 250th anniversary of America, so he don't want to lose that check. So he gonna talk positive about America, bro.
No, but he's a good American.
I forgot who.
But he's Democratic, bro, and he's definitely been anti-Trump, and they're not cool.
The View has been
candidate governor in California.
The View's had
like
a
Rhino, maybe. I don't know.
Well,
yeah.
Well, I mean, he's a 2001 Democrat.
Oh.
Quick good announcement. Mike Lindell. My Pillow won their case pretty much. My Pillow don't got to pay no money, but Mike Lindell did have to pay $2.3 million or something like that.
For what?
Dominion.
Oh,
for defamation for the voting thing.
But the votes were freaking fraud.
100%. Definitely seems that way.
It wasn't the machine's fault, but it was a lot of other people's fault.
But they were trying to get like something wacko, like $60 million. So it was a big win that he only had to pay $2 million. And then My Pillow, the company, didn't have to pay any money. So awesome, good win for them, bro. And then that we located those documents. We mentioned that already. So that's all I got for you, folks.
Yeah, The View had a really interesting week. I don't know who I forget her name, but they had a woman guest on, I think the same week, where Whoopi was trying to say that black people in America, it's like the same as women in Iran.
Worse.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, worse.
Don't know anything.
Another
over there.
foot in mouth, bro. Like, yeah. Nah, bro, being black's worse than being treated like
you've really been brainwashed into being a professional victim.
In Iran, that's ridiculous, bro. She be crazy shit.
She has no idea.
What was the one she said about Israel or something? It was another one, something like black people had it worse than the Holocaust or something.
Yeah,
anyway.
so she's too stupid. She's such a racist.
Yeah, like,
no, she is legitimately a racist. And
so I don't know if she
everything that she's stuck in the, it's like Trumpism, but it's.
You mean TDS?
TDS, but it's like racism. That everything is still racism. It's just as bad as.
She has that full victimhood mentality, and she is TDS.
Right. And I don't know if she was just like that and then it, brought it out of her for the show.
No,
or
she does it on every show.
She's
Every
paid
time you see
to
her.
be that person.
I was going to say, the money was too good for her not to do it.
She's clearly the token that's supposed to be
How do you even have a brain that
100%.
you can get paid that much to even say that dumb stuff?
Well, that's where we're idiots, right? We're trying to use our brain and work hard. Like,
I mean,
all you got to do is lose your morals, values, and your soul, and be an empty vessel. Somebody will pay you.
You can also email the Tides Foundation, and they'll probably tell you exactly how to do it.
Correct. Yes. Lose your morals and values. Be an empty box, and just go ask somebody with money to pay me to go do the bad thing.
After I have $10 million, I don't think I need any more money. I know, right? They want what? And everybody does nothing but what? Laugh at them.
Man, today you could wipe your ass with 10 million.
Right, 10 million. I don't need nothing.
Good night there, Mr. Niltamir. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Down in the live chat down below. Make sure to share the show out, folks. And, maybe we might be able to double the viewership next week. You got to help them build a better news feed, folks. Do that yourself as well. You can head on over to thetruthercast.com, go to the resources tab, and right there is a nice, friendly, recommended list of these fine, nice, awesome independent citizen journalists. And, you can click on the links right there, nice and easy to go to their profiles. And then down at the bottom of that page, there's a list of honorable mentions I haven't had time to give the links for, but build yourself a better newsfeed, folks, or help your parents, pull up the website on their, right there on their phone and just click the links and hit follow and then tell them to use YouTube or Rumble or something like that, man. So definitely put that work out there, folks, because we got to spread the awareness so that there's a lot more realizations, man, because, pretty soon we're going to have to get ready for our primary coverage, Dan. We're going to have to start dialing it up next year and helping to get these people, getting them in the primary voting boxes, right, brother?
Yep, that's right. Got to get these people aware of what they're really voting for. The stakes at hand, all of it. The people that are being fake, the people that are being real. What direction we need to, because
keep the country going.
Voting is more real again. So no matter how much like Scott and I believed that our vote really wasn't worth much anything there, like for a while, years back, and then realized the only way to actually try to make it worth something, even if it isn't, is to put it on paper and have the receipts.
And we hold them accountable to count the son of a biscuit.
Yep, just like here, we have the receipts for you. We got to make our own receipts out there for who we think should be leading things.
Yeah, amen, bro. And then make sure to just not be a hoe and share that show, folks.
No hoage.
Got a computer? Sign up.toleratech.com. Any last words for you, brother?
No, it's bedtime, dog.
It's bedtime.
I went to work this morning at 4 o'clock, so 3:30 comes early.
We got that 3. We got the 2. And then we got a 1. So I guess there's that all right.
All right.
Oh.